What is good, chat? How are we doing today? Welcome to another show. I hope you're as pumped as I am because we're going to be talking about Donni Boy, of course, all right? Because this guy, why not? He's known for stealing everything under the sun, including the identity of his own father. So why not just cover him? Especially since he's holding, according to him, one of the biggest conventions that's going to happen, hopefully this month. If Anthony Johnson doesn't do anything about it. All right. I think it's very important for us to cover what is going on here, right? Because recently Donni Boy has been infused with the confidence to somehow take credit for being responsible for Kevin Samuels and Fresh and Fit success. Okay, now we got a couple people who are going to react to that basically have a counter opinion to that thought process Donni Boy has. But it just shows you like how crazy deluded this guy is to think that even after Kevin Samuels' death, okay, even after his death, when this loser came out and said, yeah, Kevin Samuels wasn't a real friend to me. He was never really real and wasn't really my friend, right? After saying all of that, okay, riding off of this dude's name this entire time, and then to turn around and say, the reason why he got to 1 million subs was because of me. Realistically, that's just what it is. Donni Boy, I was responsible for Kevin Samuels' success. And matter of fact, it wasn't just only Kevin Samuels. Donni Boy was also responsible for Fresh and Fit success. At least, he's trying to take credit. Listen, not even take credit. He's trying to steal credit right now, right? And it's crazy because this isn't the first time he's busted for stealing credits, okay? Because this guy, his actual rap sheet was he scammed people. He committed credit card fraud, okay? That's part of his rap sheet. Although he likes to pretend he's a tough guy, he's not a tough guy. He's just a pretender, okay? Because when he talks about how he knocks people out and how he got all these felonies for beating up people. So Donni Boy really wants you to believe he's a tough guy. Like if you meet him in a room, oh my God, you better watch out because he doesn't know what he might do, right? So I just find it interesting because most of his Class C felonies, third degree felonies, right? They're all from fraudulent activities, either ripping people off by filing false or what do you call it, writing false checks, or stealing identity theft, okay, from somebody who is named the same name as you, Edward Hopkins, your father, right? So I just find it so interesting. Like all of a sudden now, he's dropping videos claiming that, yes, I, Donni Boy, was responsible for Kevin Samuels' success. Now, I have a bunch of videos to play to pretty much counter his thought process, but there was one video supplied to us by O'Shea Duke Jackson, not directly to us. He just posted it out there, but I think it was absolutely amazing because it was 7.5 minutes of literally non-stop roasting of Donni Boy. Okay, for those of you guys don't know, O'Shea Duke Jackson, shout out to him, and Donni Boy have a really, really deep history. Okay, this history spans back. You think the beef between Anthony Johnson and Donni Boy is bad? Yeah, the beef between Donni Boy and O'Shea Duke Jackson is equally as bad, I would say. Now, maybe not equally, because Anthony Johnson definitely did a lot of damage to Donni Boy's career. That's probably why it's in the gutter right now. But I would have to say, yeah, the O'Shea Duke Jackson beef he has with him is absolutely deep. Now, some of you guys be looking around and saying, hey, listen, dude, what are you talking about? O'Shea Duke Jackson's beefing with Donni Boy? Like, how? How is that even possible? Why are they beefing? When did this start? Listen, it's a tale as old as time. Gather around, sit down, and relax. Kick your feet up, okay? Because we're about to go ahead and tell the tale of old about how this got down. And it also makes sense to why O'Shea Duke released this incredibly scathing expose on Donni Boy regarding him claiming he's responsible for Kevin Samuels' success, which I find ridiculous. Okay, now he can make an argument for Myron and Fresh and Fit, but realistically, he can't even take that claim either, because that's the other claim he's making, that he put out Fresh and Fit. As much as I don't like this guy, what's his name, Solo TV, right? This guy, who screams at women in the comments all day for his live streams. All right, listen. I would make an argument that he did more of a legwork for putting together Fresh and Fit than Donni Boy. Okay. And Donni Boy, all he's done, I would say, in my book, is put Myron on, right? He put Myron on the show that's called The Six, or is it The Six or The Seven, right? The Seven, right? Which ironically was the same show that Kevin Samuels was on that he claims to make famous too as well. But Myron was on The Seven show, and that was it. But Fresh, I don't think was on there. He actually gave more clout to Myron. He invited Myron over to his CME, the first iteration of it, right? And that was back when Myron was super thirsty for clout, right? This guy, was trying to get, what do you go, Unplugged Fit off the brand, right? That was his old brand before it became Fresh and Fit, right? They took the Unplugged out and put Fresh in there, which I still think was a big mistake. But I mean, if you don't believe me, look what Fresh is doing now. It's just not good. But the channel used to be called Unplugged Fit, okay? And around that time, you could say Donnie Boy found them, or at least discovered them. But I would actually make the argument that Solo TV actually did more of the legwork for putting Fresh and Fit together. Now, obviously, what I'm talking about here, it should be nothing to have a medal be delivered for, okay? Because realistically, anybody who's responsible for putting Fresh and Fit, at least the likes of these two together, you owe society a deep, deep apology for how much you've messed them up for putting those clowns on point. All right, I'm just saying. Okay, so any of y'all that listen, claiming or fighting for the title for whoever put Fresh and Fit on is just honestly embarrassing. Look at your legacy. Yeah, these guys who are promoting all this degeneracy throughout the your minds of young men in society. Yeah, congratulations. You were so responsible for putting all that together. Hey, Solo Dolo, congratulations, buddy. All right, it's nice to see your ass get up off the couch for something. All right, congratulations. You make society that much worse by putting Fresh and Fit on, and look where that got you. Blackballed from the industry. Now you're sitting there in your live stream yelling at women in your comment section, which I just find absolutely hilarious. Okay, so again, fighting for the title of whoever put Fresh and Fit up there, it's not something. It's not. I wouldn't say it's a title you want to be proud of. Okay, just being real, but that's what it is. But looking at Donnie Boy in his humble origins, okay, who put him on? Where did this loser come from? All right, where did this loser come from in terms of notoriety? How did he even get spotted, and how did he even rise to the level or fall to the level that he's fallen to thus far? Because believe it or not, Donnie Donna Boy. I call you Donna Boy. I'm sorry, Donna's a girl's name. Donnie is what I meant to call you. Donnie Boy, okay? So Donnie Boy, listen, believe it or not, this guy wasn't always hated, okay? Matter of fact, some would even say, including O'Shea himself, that he and O'Shea were at one point business partners, right? And yes, that's right, folks. O'Shea Duke Jackson, believe it or not, Obsidian, right? Believe it or not, that's the guy who's basically, he hates black people along with Donovan Sharpe. Those two are just two peas in a pod. All right, but O'Shea Duke Jackson, Obsidian, it essentially had a show. It wasn't really a show; it was more like a blog called the Negro Manosphere. Okay, and essentially it was writing about, it was Black Manosphere centered. People who had melanin in their skin, and it was mainly about promoting excellence for black men, and it was actually pretty good. And the thing that O'Shea Duke spotted in Donnie Boy was the fact that Donnie Boy was a good writer. Not only the fact he was a good writer, but Donnie Boy, when he talked like a white man. Now I know it's funny, but hear me out, okay? He talked like a white man, and the reason, actually, that's part of the reason why O'Shea, I think, decided to bring him on was because, believe it or not, there are a lot of black folks out there that don't speak in Ebonics, okay? They don't usually have an Ebonic tone when they're speaking, all right? And realistically, I think Ebonics is just like a country thing, right? Because I think that's, if anything, that's probably where a lot of black folks got that style of speaking from, or a bunch of Southern white folks back in the day speaking that way. Because realistically, you go to the South, I mean, the dialect is exactly the same. It's like, oh, y'all, hillbillies everywhere, no matter what skin color, right? So listen, that's precisely the reason why Donovan Sharpe decided to, not Donovan Sharpe, recall, spacing out right now. O'Shea Duke Jackson decided to bring Donnie Boy on was because he decided, hey, listen, there are a lot of black folks out there, believe it or not, who do not speak in Ebonics, and when it comes to in terms of relational dating between black men, black women, and all the sort, right? A lot of times that's not looked so much as a positive in black communities, right? Not in the, because again, black community is not really a monolith. You ask what's the black community, a lot of people will tell you something different, right? But generally speaking, it's not really black men who speak non-ebonics, added to it. They're basically just not. They looked at as nerds. Okay, essentially that's the easiest way to explain it. Donnie Boy was a nerd, and the way he talked in terms of speaking, and the way he talked in terms of writing, at least his writing voice, okay, it spoke to certain elements of black folks or black men who didn't really fit the whole, thug and type of mentality. Even Obsidian would even attest to this, right? Because he even said himself he wanted to be godfather of the incels, all right, and black incels, and the whole reason for that was because he felt as though he himself is not a Chad or a Tyrone. So he, in fact, wants to be the leader for other black men who are, in fact, not Chads or Tyrones. Or wait, I think it's Tyrone, not Chads. Chads for white people, right? So that's what he wanted to do. So again, that's the crowd they were trying to pull into this sphere. And for a while, Donovan, he did well. He wrote well. And that's what he's good at doing. He has many books out there. All right, but the thing is, trouble always tend to follow Donnie Boy wherever he goes, right? Because Donovan has a weird problem, and that problem is it's little man syndrome. And now some of y'all be saying, Duke, he's a big guy, right? Literally, he's a big guy. What do you mean little man syndrome? Well, when Donnie Boy gets involved in a system, or when he gets involved in an organization, he tends to have the mindset to try to dominate it. Right, he wants to dominate it, take it over, make it his, be the leader. Right, everyone listen to him, follow the directions because he's the masculine man in that scenario. At least that's what he wants those guys to believe. And this kind of mentality caused a clash with the Negro Manosphere. Is what the O'Shea Dukes Jackson organization was called at the time. This what caused that rift between the two because it was just like, hey man, you can't dominate what's already been dominated. Like, what are you talking about, bro? It's O'Shea and Obsidian. They run this show. It is what it is, right? So that created drama, that created tension, leading Donovan Sharpe to flee the Negro Manosphere, all right, and join up with Anthony Johnson, which y'all know how that's going. Y'all know how that ended up, okay? Not so great for Donnie, but that's what he ended up doing. And when he left, of course, what better way to solidify the burning of the bridge than to then call or lambast or label the entire space you came from as just ghetto. Yeah, that's what he did. He decided to turn back, look at the people who got him to where he needed to be, and said, yeah, y'all motherfuckers are too ghetto. We're going to go over here with Anthony Johnson and the Redman group, right? And that was the thing. It was very stereotyped. One thing you guys have to understand, especially a lot of black manosphere content creators or influencers in this space, when you see them at that notoriety where they have a lot of followers on both sides of the fence. A lot of their following was built in the black manosphere first, all right? That's why when you see me criticizing guys like Anton Daniels and Angry Man and those guys, especially when they start having crazy-ass takes in relation to black folks, okay? I am especially hard on these guys because a lot of fame that they got was from the black manosphere. They got a lot of support because black folks will support you, especially if you're black yourselves, right? And which is so interesting to me is to see these guys, the moment they feel as though they've used up all the black support, turn around and say, yeah, y'all niggas got to pull yourself up by the bootstraps. It's like, huh? What do you mean? They helped you pull up by your bootstraps. Now you're looking at them funny? That's crazy. But that's how a lot of people tend to, at least some of the black content creators that have made it out of the black manosphere, right? And made it out like lead attorney. He's one of them. Yeah, him. He's one of them too. He matter of fact, he tried to say Kevin Samuels told him, yeah, the moment you get famous, all right, get out of the black manosphere. Them niggas ain't good. I was like, huh? That's what lead attorney said, right? So you got to get the picture of a lot of these bozos. When they build their name or fame off of the black space, right? Because black folks will really support you out here, okay? Then they go off to other spaces, turn around and just start shitting on black folks, okay? So there's a little backstory for y'all for wondering why I get so hard on Anton Daniels and Angry Man, because this is what they do. They, now that they think they're at the top, look how much they're shitting on black folks. Look what Angry Man has been saying. Look what Anton Daniels is saying. Oh, you guys don't deserve reparations. Oh yeah, I love me my white queens, right? Black women, no. White queens, yeah, like give me some of that pearl cooch, right? No, seriously, he said something like that. I'm paraphrasing, but this dude, he said if he wasn't married, he'd probably go with his white queen Pearl, which is like, huh? Yeah, that Pearl, that Pearl Davis, her, that Anton, the man is married to Rita, huh? Rita, his wife, who probably watches half of his shows on the internet, right? This married man who's supposed to be for family is out here talking about how much he's fantasized about being with Pearl, a woman who pretty much trivialized slavery by saying it was just an embellishment to a known racist like Nick Fuentes live during a podcast, right? That's the guy that Anton would rather be with while shitting on it. But then, expect black people to keep paying his bills, right? I just find it interesting. Rita, listen, bro. Anton, it's only a matter of time. The minute them Patreon checks stop coming, Rita's out of there. That divorce paper, man, she gonna file that shit faster than you can say peanut hit. But anyways, that's essentially what guys like Donovan Sharpe, Anton Daniels, and a lot of these guys, a lot of times, so what is his name? Angry Man, they do this shit, right? So Donovan Sharpe did that, joined up with Anthony Johnson, and started doing that. Now, at that particular time, Anthony Johnson already had a few conventions and stuff under projects under his belt. So he was already kind of known about that, right? Matter of fact, he was even on getting on the rounds on Fox News and some of these other places too as well. And Rollo Tomasi tagged along for the ride too with the 21 conventions, right? So it was he was really building a massive convention, right? And it actually worked out. So Donovan Sharpe doing what Donovan Sharpe usually does. He likes to take things over, tried to do the same thing with Anthony Johnson's situation, right? And Anthony Johnson at the time was creating a subgroup called the Red Man Group. And the Red Man Group was supposed to be like a light version of what he was doing with the 21 conventions and 21 studios, right? And here's what ended up happening. Rollo at the time and Donnie Boy ended up working together to try to usurp the Red Man Group from Anthony Johnson, right? And Rollo was playing all these weird games because that's what Rollo does. He's a red pill grandpa, so he's trying to placate his way to the top by using idiots like Donnie Boy, right? And Donnie Boy was willing to be his useful idiot by going about and then wrecking the relationship for himself. So essentially, what happened is he got dropped from the Red Man Group and anything affiliated with 21 conventions. But before that actually happened, this fool tried to start his own CME, tried to hire the same speakers as Anthony Johnson already had while still partnering with the dude. Talk about shady, right? You want to talk about a thief. That's one right there. You take somebody under your wing and imagine this, right? Chat, you got a company. You started a company. It's company that fixes cars, whatever, right? And all of a sudden you hired this new tech. He's good, he's fast, he gets the work done, he's personable, right? He's making your shop a lot of money. You hire this guy, he seems smart, right? So 2 months or 3 months into hiring this guy, he starts taking your clients, all right, and start working out of his garage while still working with you. Tell me that's not shady. That's exactly what Donovan was doing. It's like you're partnered with a guy trying to start your own convention while still working with them, while, by the way, using the same tools, aka speakers, right? So you're taking your boss's tools and speakers, you're taking his, you're taking all of that, and you're not even trying to credit people where credit needs to be due. So of course you're getting your ass booted out there, which started this insane beef between Donnie Boy and Anthony Johnson that is basically, I would say, almost equally wrecked both platforms, because that's how dirty beefs can be, right? If you don't have a solid plan to make it out of a beef you started, it could potentially wreck your entire platform. And in this case, with Anthony Johnson and Donnie Boy, I think it kind of did a lot of damage, more so to Donnie Boy than anything else. But yeah, I think both platforms did not make it out of that, right? So let's get into O'Shea Dukes Jackson's rebuttal on Donnie Boy trying to take credit for Kevin Samuels. And then I'm going to disprove why that's false, or not disprove why that's false. Disprove why that's false. That's actually the better term, because Donnie Boy actually made a statement earlier claiming, or basically verifying, that Kevin Samuels stopped hanging out with them when Kevin Samuels got to 100,000 subs. But for those guys on the outside that don't know this, you would say, well, wait, dude, something's wrong with that picture. Because Kevin Samuels, when he was at 100,000 subs, not a lot of people knew about him, but on his way to the top, I seem to remember Donnie Boy doing a lot of reaction videos to Kevin Samuels, even when he was past 100,000 subs. Like, Donnie Boy was reacting to every one of Kevin Samuels' videos, everyone with the girls, this and that. He was doing that. So, I mean, why would Kevin Samuels let that happen if Donnie Boy came out later to say that Kevin Samuels and him weren't really friends like that? Duke, are you trying to say that Donnie Boy knew for a fact Kevin Samuels never wanted to be friends with him anymore, right? And still clout chased off the dude's name while he was alive? If you had that same thought process, you're absolutely right. That's how low and a scammer this guy Donnie Boy is, all right? So we're going to go ahead and get to this video. Guys, don't forget to get the likes up, okay? I appreciate you getting the likes up. And then let's play O'Shea Duke's reaction to this, because I found it absolutely hilarious. So shout out to O'Shea Duke Jackson. I think this is this one right here. No, it's this one right here. All right, hold up. All right, here's Donovan Sharpe trying to take credit for Kevin Samuels' success.
Good, everybody. It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of the Celebrity Junk. Donovan Sharpe is one of the most infamous manosphere creators on planet Earth. And it's because he's one of the most hated guys. It's not just...
Yo, chat, I'm going to have to warn y'all, O'Shea does not hold back. Like, once you listen to this, you can tell the bad blood that's there. And you're not wrong, right? You're not wrong, because Donovan Sharpe, he fucked a lot of people over while he's sitting here trying to pretend like he's a victim, and all these guys were the ones who were shady. They backstabbed him, and all he tried to do was be a good guy. It's all cap. This guy is crazy, bro. He's crazy emotional. I mean, just if you don't believe me, look how easy it is for him to lop off ties with Adam Sosnick. All right. And it wasn't even Adam Sosnick's fault, but he blamed Adam Sosnick all because he couldn't handle pushback from women on his platform. This were black women, by the way, some of them, right? So it was just so interesting to see this guy and the way he thinks, right? So just keep that in mind. He's crazy. But he wants to play the victim. Don't believe it.
Subscribers or people who feel like he scammed them, me being one of them. It's just content creators also. Now, don't get me wrong, content creators can fall out. I have my enemies. We all have our enemies. That's just what comes into this game. We're competitors in the industry that's worth a lot of money. So unfortunately, some guys feel that money is everything, which that's what Donovan does. But Donovan wants to take some credit for Kevin Samuels' success. As funny as that is, I want to play that clip and then I'm going to come back.
Throughout my time in the content creation space, I've been fortunate enough to have collaborated with 3 different channels that have all reached 1 million subscribers. Fresh and Fit, Pearl Davis, and of course, the late, great Kevin Samuels. I had each of these creators on long before they blew up. I had Kevin on for the first time way back on May 5th of 2018.
I totally forgot. He also is trying to take credit for Pearl's success too. Yeah, this guy has no shame.
This was back when he was a men's image consultant. A little over a year later, I had Myron Gaines on. I used to host a panel show called The Six, where both Myron and Kevin were on the panel for about a year or so. Those were legendary panels. Well, about a year after that, I collaborated with Pearl. Now, I'm sure some of you are thinking, stop clout chasing, Donovan. None of those people needed you. Well, maybe. But let me ask you.
No, that's true. None of them needed you. Like, you collaborating with them does not mean you are responsible for their careers taking off. Pearl became a grifter. Matter of fact, Pearl was on this channel before she went on yours, Donnie. If you guys scroll through this channel, look at our old videos. She was here. She was here. And that was, I would say, even at the start of her grift. That's why when I started to realize that she was like racist and all that stuff like that, I was like, hey, listen, I know y'all gonna dig through a lot of these videos and say, hey, Duke, you were collaborating with Pearl, okay? That was before Pearl was Pearl, okay? Well, I didn't know her, okay? I didn't know she was racist. I just thought she had insights Let's have a conversation. It was a panel of other people. So I could sit here like Donni and say, I had her on my show. I was responsible for her success. That's stupid. That's stupid because what the path Pearl took to be successful was completely different. She was grifting her way to the top, and you were just one of it. Just because she came on your show does not mean you were directly responsible for her being successful. Just because Myron came on your show, Kevin Samuels came on your show, does not mean you had a hand in with them being successful. But you want to know who actually had more of a hand than you did, if anyone can say that? O'Shea Duke Jackson, and that's for real. No one can deny that. O'Shea Duke Jackson is you want to point to like a big part of Kevin Samuels' success, right? Point to O'Shea Duke Jackson. O'Shea Duke Jackson definitely got his name out there. O'Shea Duke Jackson also did some work in making sure that Kevin Samuels' reputation was intact as he was on his way to the top, right? And Kevin Samuels shouted out O'Shea Duke Jackson a lot. Now we want to compare that to how much Kevin Samuels shouted out Donnie Boy, and it's negligible. You can't even see it. Like how many? That matter of fact, that's part of the reason why he was crying later after Kevin Samuels died, because he didn't get a shout out from Kevin Samuels. It goes to show you the level of effectiveness Donovan had in Kevin Samuels' success. Not very much, although he likes to take lion's share of it. It's not true.
This rhetorical question: what would have happened if I had never reached out to collaborate with them? Would Kevin and Pearl still have blown up?
Also,
yes, absolutely yes.
So, Donovan Sharpe,
Angela in the chat,
take some shots at yours truly, which is also very incredible.
As great as my time has been in the Red Pill community, it certainly hasn't come without its challenges. Early on, I collaborated with O'Shea Duke Jackson, who, unfortunately for me, is the male avatar for degenerates.
Wow! I can't believe he said that. This guy has serious bad blood against O'Shea. How can you say that? How can you say O'Shea's a degenerate? You didn't collaborate with him. He brought you on. He paid you, and you backstabbed them because they weren't trying to start a 21 conventions like you were trying to do. Because again, Donovan had a lot of he had the idea in mind that he wanted to do the black version of the 21 conventions, right? That's what Donovan Sharpe wanted to do. He wanted to launch it. O'Shea Duke Jackson wasn't having it, all right? And Donovan, and he kind of moved on, right? So he's trying to say that, oh yeah, me and my collaboration with O'Shea was very mutual. It wasn't. You needed O'Shea at the time because you were weak. And I can prove that because right around this time with Donni, he was aggressively trying to build a YouTube career. Why? Because the guy moved from Florida to Las Vegas, all right? And some rumor that's probably where he found Devin at the time. And we all know his life in Florida was not good, all right? Because he ended up scamming his daddy and almost got his life destroyed by a 19-year-old heroin addict who was a single mother, okay? And her boyfriend was also in prison. That's the life of Donnie Boy up until Vegas. Vegas, we know. Devin, we know. Red Pill Manosphere Donni is what came out of it, okay? So, and while he was going through that whole Red Pill journey, we didn't know anything about Devin. Matter of fact, he went through great lengths to make sure Devin stood in the shadows. It wasn't until he started having beefs with Anthony Johnson and a lot of these people who knew the real Donnie Boy behind the scenes, that's when a lot of this stuff started to come out, because Donnie Boy at that time started to burn a lot of bridges with a lot of people. But I find it interesting he's trying to take credit and say, well, you know, O'Shea Duke Jackson, yeah, we collaborated. No. You needed him that time. You did.
Race bait, simp, and engage in the endless self-hatred and victim mentality, otherwise known as the quote-unquote black community. O'Shea did all the usual things that is due to black men. He sold me on the idea that us collaborating could help the both of us. Then, of course, he turned his back on me in the end. He told Black YouTube that I was trying to start a Black 21 convention behind his back. Dude flat out lied. And I proved that he was lying with receipts in the video above.
Oh, by the way, this right here, let me show y'all something. Y'all see this?
Dude flat out lied.
Y'all see this? All of this. Look how extravagant this was, right? They got the hotel lobby, probably at a big casino, okay? Got that all rented out. This shit was high value to the T, if you can define that. This was the first CME. This is what Donnie Boy was getting credit for. The second CME, oh my God, hold up. Let me see if I have that video. I'm gonna bring up that video. The second CME was was done in equivalent to what you would call a shoebox, okay? Because the hotel venue was ass, the speaker list was ass, the event list was ass. Always just all around just ass, right? So hold up, let me see if I have that video because y'all got to see the difference. It went from high value to great value in a span of a year. Like, we didn't know what the hell happened. Do I have that video? Hold up. I'm gonna try to find that video, chat. But it basically breaks down the the second CME that he had, which I was telling y'all. He was blaming Anthony Johnson for the venue being canceled, but it was probably because Donnie Boy he couldn't afford it because he had other bills to pay. I'm gonna look for that video, chat, but let me keep this one going.
That proved that he was lying with receipts in the video above. O'Shea reaffirmed a lesson I learned better than 3 decades ago, and that lesson was that a disproportionate amount of Black people in America react negatively to success, prosperity, and true community.
Oh, I found it, chat. I found it. Here we go. That right there. That's the CME2. That's the CME2, chat. Y'all saw that big ass hotel way back there in the last clip. All right. Now we looking over here. They had the balls to put MLD, Mr. Endure, in a hot ass room with all these other dudes in a tight ass suit. He could have a heart attack in here. Can you believe this shit? Right? This is how broke they went. All right. And the lead up to this CME number 2 was Donnie Boy practically blaming Anthony Johnson for canceling the venue. He was blaming Anthony Johnson for canceling the payment processors. He was blaming Anthony Johnson for every single thing to basically make excuses for why the CME2 wasn't the biggest CME like the CME1. Matter of fact, he even tried to use COVID as an excuse to why the shit was piss poor, right? So again, it just goes to show you. Let me keep playing because y'all got to see the difference between the CME1 and CME2. Y'all see high value, great value. Even Donnie Boy couldn't even pop out with a great value or high value suit. My dude had a bowling shirt on. There's no audio to this, by the way. It's just playthrough. I'm gonna just talk over this. There's no audio. Look at all these desperate men. Just know every fat neck dude in this room right now paid about $1,500 to be here. It's like, think about it. $1,500 to listen to a guy like MLD trying to stuff himself into a suit. All right, tell you about masculinity. This guy had plastic surgery. All right, on his liposuction. He got liposuction literally the year prior. This is the CME1. Y'all notice something different with the CME1? You see the big studio. Donovan Sharpe himself got a 3-piece suit on. All right, he's got a nice tie. He's clean cut. He's not even doing a fake hairline thing because he's keeping it real. He's keeping it masculine. All right, no weird cosmetics. All right, he let his hairline unfurl. All right, look at him. Majestic, right? In some people's words. Some people can call that, right? Then you move to the CME2. The CME2 is like, hey, bruh, what happened? What happened? Hey, if people pay $1,500 to do this, where did their money go? Okay. Now I want to tell you guys something because we're starting to notice a familiar pattern here. All right. And the pattern we're noticing is that Donnie Boy now, okay, Donnie Boy is using the same excuse he used last time to launch this bullshit, right? Look at him in his nice bowling shirt. You can't even, where's the 3-piece suit? Non-existent. They don't exist, right? How you go from high value to great value in a span of a year? Make it make sense, right? So again, this guy, he's got the fake hairline in this one, right? He's got the fake hairline in this one. You can see that for sure, all right? But think about it. He's using the same excuse as he did last year to produce this shit for CME as this year by saying that Anthony Johnson is now canceling his payment processors. And who knows? I wouldn't be surprised within the next week, he probably would say Anthony Johnson canceled the venue, right? So Anthony Johnson is just going to be responsible for all that. So I want to give you guys a little backstory here as Donnie Boy is out here talking because y'all need to know what this guy is and the lengths he's done. I mean, look at this room. Look at this. Look at this. These boys paid $1,500 to be here. Just look at this, chat. Look at him. Look at this. Look. Why he got a suit on and dude got a bowling shirt on? What is this? So let's get back to this video, okay? Because I just had to give you guys proper context, okay? Proper context on this. But let's get it. Oh, M. Dot with the $5 with that. Shout out to you. M. Dot says, if Donovan has the talent to make other content creators successful, 1 million plus subs on YouTube, why couldn't he do that for himself? Exactly. Exactly. That is the age-old question, especially when a lot of these YouTubers come out and say, I'm responsible for putting them on, especially Solo Dolo, right? You get used to that, Solo, because you're going to be alone for a while, all right? But listen, he keeps saying that, I put Fresh and Fit on, I'm the boss, I'm this, I'm that. Okay, buddy, why couldn't your live streams get more than 400 views? If you put people like Fresh and Fit on, okay, your average video uploads gets like 200 views. You're averaging Pearl numbers right now, all right? And Pearl's doing a lot better now, so which is very interesting. So if you were so responsible, Mr. Big Shot, for putting these other big shots on, what happened to your channel? Why is it that they're doing better than you? Matter of fact, why is it so bad that you're officially blackballed? Maybe you're not as important as you think you are, huh? Donni, Solo, maybe you guys are not as important as you think you are. So I'm just food for thought, throwing it out there.
I want to play the third clip
enough team with the-
in which Donovan Sharpe admits he is a liar, he is a scam artist. In own words, right? Play that clip.
Now, I've had other rough patches along the way. The mistake of collaborating with Tori, Steve the Dean Williams, and Obsidian, those come to mind right off the top of my head. And look, guys, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I was blameless in all of these situations. Yes, I sold O'Shea 4 articles I sold to Roosh, but the only difference was that it was, quote, blackened, if you know what I mean. That was...
I don't know what blackened mean, huh? So you sold articles to Roosh, all right? So you took those same articles and blackened those articles and then sold it to O'Shea. And then you're wondering why they don't trust your ass. Yeah, bro, what do you mean by blackened? What do you mean by blackened, bro? Again, you keep riding off of black people. You keep doing all these nonsense, and you get mad when people say, "Hey, Donni, you might be racist, dog. You might have some self-hating issues." A lot of people are telling you this. You get mad, right? What does blackened mean? Why couldn't you just provide the same article you provided to Roosh? Why do you have to blacken it up? What does blacken it up mean? I genuinely want to know, what does that actually mean? Does that mean that you were purposely trying to play a stereotype? Like what? And you know what? The reason why it makes sense, because listen to how he says the N-word, bro. Donovan Sharpe dropping the N-word is the most frustrating thing I've ever seen, or not even seen, heard in my entire 29 years of existence, okay? I'm going to tell you that right now. Donnie boy just saying the N-word. I'm not even going to play it here. It just... As a black man, when you hear that, you just get this weird crawl up your spine, like you just want to reach out and smack him. Just like, nigga, what did you say? It don't even come off right. He sounds like he hates black people when he even says that, right? So again, when he says blackened, in terms of an article, I tend to wonder what that means. Enough T says, how does your convention go from a fancy hotel lobby to a community college classroom? Talk about a downfall. Facts. He's blaming Anthony Johnson for this. I shit you not, Enough T. He blamed Anthony Johnson for that. He said Anthony Johnson was responsible for getting that venue, the original extravagant venue he had planned. He said Anthony Johnson was responsible for getting that canceled, right? And Anthony Johnson took down his payment processors and then went ahead and attacked them by getting the venue canceled. Now, fast forward 2023. Remember, in 1 year, they went from a extravagant hotel lobby to a community college classroom, all right? Now he's doing the same thing. And we got a few weeks till the convention starts. He already has a community post out there saying, hey, Anthony Johnson is sabotaging my PayPal payment processors, okay? And the only proof he has is a screenshot. The screenshot doesn't have a timestamp. It doesn't have a signature from the authorized representative or even a follow-up email to Donovan saying, hey, what can we do to get this payment processor back on track? None of that. It's just a screenshot, generic, almost identical to the one he posted up last year of somebody mysteriously DDoSing his payment processors. Which is like, okay, buddy, I wouldn't be surprised if the CME3 is in a parking lot. I'm gonna just be honest with y'all, chat. All right, they're gonna go from extravagant hotel lobby, community college classroom to a tailgating party at the Philadelphia game. Hey, y'all, welcome to Masculine Excellent. All right, we out here tailgating at the field game. All right, go Eagles. Anybody here Eagles fan? Hey, Gray, put them tones down, bro. All right, we'll flip them in 5 minutes. All right, the hot dogs got to get done. I will be surprised. And that trip to the parking lot will cost you $2,000. Congratulations, you played yourself. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Let's continue.
I was wrong. I had bitten off more than I could chew. I was overextended. I took a shortcut, and I got caught. There are no two ways about it. I was wrong. I made a mistake. But I did make O'Shea whole again by submitting 4 original articles over the next few days. So no, guys, I'm not an angel. I've made mistakes, and I've done some shady shit both on and offline. Yes,
We know.
I've written several bad checks and got caught. Yes, I've been sued 3 times. Yes, I've been arrested nearly 3 dozen times. Yes, I've knocked out a few guys, which has made me a multiple-time convicted felon.
No, it wasn't. It was identity theft and check fraud. That don't let this dude pretend to be a badass online. Nah, multiple players. He literally is a repeat fraudster. Like, it's just you're not, bro. I don't even think this guy's got the stomach for physical combat. Okay, let's just be real. This guy, he's got busted. Okay, for check fraud and identity theft. That's the Class C felonies. All right, everything else was a misdemeanor. So just throwing that out there. Fred Mayer, great shout out to you for the file. Super chat. Fred Mayer says Donni is faker than a $14 coin. Facts. And look at this other guy over here. Y'all see this other dude in the white that he's doing content with? The other guy that also hates single mothers with a passion. This guy right here is also known as Minister Jack. This guy is an absolute drunkard. Okay, I shit you not. This guy has alcohol problems. Okay, he literally, this guy, first of all, got knocked out in the parking lot in a wife beater by some random drug head. Okay, that was crazy when that happened. And then he tried to deny that wasn't him. Matter of fact, he went to the great lengths to deny that wasn't him, that he went on another sports show that was covering the video. They were like, hey, Jack, this kind of looks like you right here, bro. Hey, ain't that you getting knocked out in the gas station? Nah, man, that ain't me. Hey, I even did a whole skit on that on my channel, bro. Hold up. Do I still have that video? I think I still got that video, chat. So Minister Jack getting knocked out, the most hilarious thing possible. But this guy is the biggest single mama hater in the planet, right? This guy hates single moms so bad, but like he can't even get his life together. I mean, just make that make sense, bro. How do you hate women so bad that your life ain't even together while you talking, right? Let me see if I can find that video. That shit was hilarious. Hold up. Yeah, this dude tried to lie. No, that wasn't me. I didn't get knocked out. It was my ramblers. It was my random dude, too. That shit was hilarious. Let me keep this video playing. I'm going to try to find that video, chat. But Minister Jack is also a fraud. And by the way, he's also speaking at Donnie Boy's Conference of Masculine Excellence, or whatever you want to call it, right? So, yeah, Freddie, you right. He fake as all hell. Let me find this video real quick. Hold up. I'm going to find that video, chat. You best believe. Let me get this played.
Those are my skeletons, guys. My life is an open book at this point. Now, if you want to pretend that you care so much about my character flaws that you don't think you can learn from my experiences, then I can't help you.
Firstly, let me just say this. I'm not even going to go ahead on and go into a penis measuring contest of who found who put who on. I think those people in the community of the manosphere of Black YouTube. I mean, if you go and just look at, type in the Pan-African Dating Show, type in the Pan-African Dating Show on TikTok. I mean, when it comes to creating things from the ground up, King Gonda YouTube channel, The Celebrity Drunk. I've done it in many different areas. So, I don't have to speak for anybody today with that. Fine. Let's say he helped Kevin Samuels a little bit. The issue is, Donovan, why haven't you helped yourself?
That's facts, bro. That is absolutely facts. Yeah, and shout out to M. M. said the same thing. You're sitting here talking about, I helped this person get to 1 million. I'm responsible for their success. Why couldn't you replicate that for yourself? Why are you still here? Why are you still a hated guy, the most hated guy in the manosphere, if not, right? Why did everyone surpass you? It's the same thing with Rollo Tomasi, his own master, right? Because these two are two peas in a pod. Why is it that Roll Tomasi claims credit for Fresh and Fit? He also claims credit for Donovan Sharpe. He claims credit for a lot of these people, but yet Roll Tomasi is in the same position he was. Make it make sense, okay? Y'all bragging about how you've helped all these other people. Help yourself. Help your goddamn selves. More D with the $5 super chat. Shout out to you. He says, how come all these high value males aren't bringing their young hot wives to these conventions? Some would say it's just an in-person grinding, bro. Hey, you'd be surprised what these dudes get down at this convention, bro. All right, or some of these guys, if they carpool or share a hotel, you'd be surprised what they be getting down over there. That's why I'm like, listen, I don't know who in the right mind would want to pay $2,500 to go hang out with a bunch of dudes to talk about how women suck. Like that seems wild to me, my boy. Like, good luck. Like that other dude that said, I would rather buy a PS5. I'm with him. I'd much rather get a PS5. I'm a PC gamer. All right, I game with PCs, and once you go PC, you can't go back. In my opinion. All right, and not to any of you other consoles out there, but I'm just saying. But listen, he would rather buy a PS5 than go to one of these conventions, right? What's wrong with that? Donnie Boy finds a problem with that. I don't find a problem with that. I say go spend your money the way you should, because you're a grown-ass man. So do whatever you want. Deb with the $10 super chat. Shout out to Deb. All these dudes claiming to reinvest money back into the program / podcast is cap. All these guys have surgery some sorts. They're spending money faster than they can make it back. EX, Fresh and Fit, demonetized. Facts. Absolutely facts. Sneeko does the same thing. Because I doubt Sneeko has as much money as he claims he does. Zerka for sure on the exact same boat. These guys don't build infrastructures behind them. They just rely on idiots, gullible incels online to feed off of. Okay, and honestly, it's a self-fulfilling cycle, because in order to keep that going, well, they have to spend money, right? The IRL streams that they're doing, they have to spend money to do that, right? They have to spend money doing all these things, going to all these different places, because they have to entice the other incels to be envious of their lifestyle by watching them. So that's what these guys do. They're almost stuck in this weird ass paradigm where they have to spend money while pretending to be rich at the same time, knowing fully well they're on a race to bottom to go broke. It's just so sad.
I'm not even going to go back and forth about who helped who get on, because Fresh and Fit are flourishing. You're not.
Facts.
Kevin gets more views than you dead than you do alive now.
Yo, this shit had me. Facts. Somebody who's managing Kevin Samuel's YouTube account can post a video, and that video will get more views than Donovan does with 3 video drops combined. How are you responsible for that? Donnie, how could you be responsible for that? He's doing better than you, and my nigga is beyond the grave right now. He looking down on you like, nigga, hold my shit. I'ma still wipe the floor with these weak ass numbers, Donnie. Hey, you ain't my friend, nigga. You still ain't my friend. That's what happened. How are you claiming a dude who's beating you from beyond to beyond? Make it make sense, Donnie. All right. If your platform isn't a hot mess already, come on, dog. Wake up and smell the hot sauce. Because it's not looking good, bro. Hot sauce, I don't know where that came from, bro. But still, like, it's crazy.
And also, you can't keep any friends. I mean,
facts.
You get terrible every year, worse and worse. And you have no level of, you think you have a level of self-awareness to talking about you're a scam artist and all this, which is true, right? But there's nobody who will touch you with a 10-foot pole. You fell out with the valuetainment guys. You fell out with the black sector. And you're over there by yourself. You're over there dusty. You're over there completely terrible. Every year I get better in this business, me personally.
Damn.
I extend more out. I do more different things. I bring more different concepts to the internet, especially in the black sector. Every year. You don't. You're still awful. You're so terrible. And then you have a problem with black people.
That is not an understatement, bro. This guy has a big problem with black folks, and I don't know why, right? Maybe he got rejected by black girls when he was younger. Maybe he wasn't accepted as part of the cool kids club. I don't know. But for some reason, this guy has deep-seated issues with black people, particularly black women. So you can tell like his issues with black people stem from the women's side of things. So I don't know what's going on that side. And you can say it makes sense because he called his own mother a whore on Pearl's channel. Yeah, the same woman that laughed at black people and slavery being embellishment with a known racist like Nick Fuentes. Yeah, this black guy over here goes on his show, on her show, and talks about how much of a whore his mom is, right in front of just everybody. And no one in the right mind would do that, right? But again, who's to say Donnie Boy is even operating with every pieces there, right? We don't know. But I don't know about y'all. If somebody goes on camera, all right, to potentially millions of people and calls their own mother a whore, how far gone do you gotta be, bro? That's not a normal thing to do. I don't care how self-aware you're pretending to be. Like, that's crazy, bro. Just coming from you.
But here's the guy that has scammed his own father. Here's the guy that tried to scam me, a guy that was trying to help him. He tried to scam me, a guy who tried to help him. Yet you're trying to blame somebody for being a bad person and then taking credit for somebody who has never publicly really acknowledged you for ever doing anything for them. Nobody was, for the most part, maybe fresh and fit. But if you want to say that, who found you? Who put you on? I mean, you see what I'm saying? And this guy is so irrelevant. I mean, I'm just saying this is how delusional a lot of men are. A lot of men are so delusional. They're wasting their time blaming others for their failures. The reason why Donovan Sharpe is a loser, he continues to be a loser. He continues to fall. You wanted to be over there in the white sector? Fine. You're one over there. You can't get along with anybody. Nobody likes you over there. You're struggling every year. Your conference is struggling every year. You're dusty every year. You're dusty year every year. Why is that?
Damn, Ant. O'Shea, you take it easy on him, bro. You take it easy on him. I don't know if you can handle it. This is crazy. O'Shea going in right now.
Because of you. That's why. Nobody likes you because of you. You have all these felonies, all these problems, going to jail for those things. The lady you're dealing with has a child. You're calling her your niece. No, you are with a single mom, Donovan, and you're playing stepdad.
Yeah,
you've been exposed. Yet you're taking shots at other people. It's crazy that this guy still wants to sell what, like $1,000 courses? How, bro? Like, be honest with yourself. Are you serious? I don't think you're that serious.
Y'all hear that little chuckle O'Shea? He said, "Are you serious?" It's absolutely ridiculous, bro. How did these guys get the balls to charge people $1,000 for the courses? Like, where do you find the balls to do that? And you out here live your life like you just getting scammed day by day. Like, this is crazy. You're scamming the people that care about you, or at least trying to help you out. Yet you're trying to talk about how they hurt you, trying to play victim. Yo, O'Shea's on point with this. Like, he's straight violating with dude right now.
But guys, what do you think? Well, O'Shea Duke Jackson back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Drunk.
Facts. Let me pull up this video real quick, and this video is gonna be of Donnie Boy basically admitting himself that he hold up. Is this the video right here? Hold up, chat. I gotta see it. All right, never mind. That's not the video. I thought it was a video. All right, I gotta find this video of Minister Jack getting knocked out. That's fucking with me right now. But let me play this video of Donnie Boy basically breaking down the whole. First of all, he tries to break down the beef between Kevin Samuels and Myron because he tried to indicate that because he was responsible for bringing Myron Gaines to the spotlight, or a Fresh and Fit platform to the spotlight, and Kevin Samuels, he also felt responsible for the fallout that Myron and Kevin Samuels had behind the scenes. And a lot of you guys didn't know that. When we're out here preaching Duke the Don, our channel, we're telling you, hey, Kevin Samuels and Myron, there's an issue going on there. Y'all didn't believe us, right? Some of y'all did. Y'all even went on a platform and tried to confront Fresh and Fit about that, right? And it did not go well because Myron immediately let it know, hey, stop telling us that Kevin Samuels needs to come and save our channel, okay? We were our own thing. Kevin Samuels don't need us, all right? We don't need him to save us, all right? Leave it alone, all right? Because that was the answer he gave out. But y'all didn't know that there was a beef between Myron and Kevin Samuels behind the scenes, and it was over streaming times, believe it or not, right? Because Fresh and Fit were trying to stream around the same time as Kevin Samuels, right? Because that was that 8 o'clock or 9 p.m. time slot was peak hour for those kind of content types, right? They love talking shit about women around that time slot. So Myron definitely wanted to get in on that action, but Kevin Samuels had an issue with that because, Kevin Samuels did it first. He was already at 1 million. He already had the authority. He had the clout. Matter of fact, some would say part of Fresh and Fit success wasn't because of Donnie Boy. It was because of Kevin Samuels' appearance on one of their shows, right? So again, it's a back and forth, hotly debated thing, but that's a whole kind of underlying factor between the split up between with Kevin Samuels and Fresh and Fit, or particularly mine, right? And there were a lot of name calling being tossed behind the scenes, particularly on the Fresh and Fit's part, right? They were dropping the F slur on Kevin Samuels because when Kevin Samuels was alive, apparently for a lot of people, it was super fun to make fun of his sexuality, even though he wasn't gay. For some reason, that's an insult people decided to gravitate to, which was crazy to me because it's like, wait a minute, bro. Like, there are a lot of black folks who are gay. Like, why? And black women are friends with men like that. So why are they all of a sudden, or not even just the women, but like even some black folks have family members who are, of the LGBTQ. So I don't know why they feel as though throwing the insult at Kevin Samuels being gay, even though he's not, is something that's going to be, effective. I found that cringe. What do you Simp the Sinner or Sus the Sinner? Saint the Sinner, I'm sorry. He tried to do the same thing too. He was calling Kevin Samuels a skitter guzzler. I generally stay away from those type of things because I just find it cringe. If someone's not gay, why try to call them gay for insult? That's cringe as fuck and weird. It shows that you probably got some projection issues you got to work through, right? Because other than that, if they tell you who they are, just go with it. Like, it is what it is. If they're not gay, stop doing that. So they were all on that weird grift with Kevin Samuels, and it's so sad, and it's sad for them because it's just I was actually shocked how these guys try to pretend after all the insults they've been throwing at this man. After he died, a lot of these people try to pretend that they were always friends with him. They were always, tight with Kevin Samuels. Kevin Samuels was some kind of hero, right? And it's like, what? Y'all just left the video up about how much you were trying to call him out his name and his sexuality, trying to ridicule the man because he wouldn't give you attention. Now that he's dead, you're trying to grab that attention by all means by saying, yeah, me and him were friends. He was the greatest friend ever. And he was so inspirational. It's like, yo, y'all was so you can read him like a book, right? But here's Donnie basically breaking that down. All right. And we know it's validated because the comments down here, you would notice, chat, it's from a familiar channel that we know, right? Especially the top comment right over here. If you guys want to see this top comment right over here. All right, these guys got about 1.51 million subscribers, okay? And if you look at what this comment says, it says, "Thanks for getting the truth out there. I didn't want to do it, but respect to you for putting it out there. We clearly didn't see eye to eye with Kevin, but RIP." The nerve on this guy. The nerve on these guys, right? You're calling them all these slurs and everything like that, and yet you're talking about RIP. Okay. We will carry the torch in his honor, despite the disagreements. This is bigger than all of us. Guys need our help. I'm like, oh my God. These guys are unbelievable. Unfreaking believable, right? This guy, Myron, or at least whoever's managing the Fresh and Fit account, we know who it is, all right? It's Myron, okay? These guys who've been shitting on Kevin Samuels, dropping the F slur around Kevin Samuels. For those of you guys who don't know what I mean by F slur, I'm not talking about fuck, all right? I'm talking about the bundle of sticks, at least the definition of what it originally was for before it got moved to a slur for LGBTQ people, all right? That's what Myron was calling Kevin Samuels behind the scenes. Now, all of a sudden, on a video with Donnie Boy, basically trying to expose Kevin Samuels for being a fake friend, he then says, "We're going to carry the torch because men need help." I mean, it's like they have the word fake tattooed on each of their foreheads, and people just choose to ignore it. That's just what it is. But let's play this shit show of a video just so you guys know exactly the scammer we're dealing with.
I don't know. You guys may have heard other versions of this, but I'm going to tell you the 100% truth because I am very, very good friends with the both of them.
No, he's not.
Kevin and Myron are two of my very best friends.
No, they're not.
Was. one of my very best friends.
That's right. Tell the truth, bitch.
And so Kevin had blown up. He'd gone viral on World Star Hip Hop a couple times. Then, of course, he was 300,000 subscribers. He was on his way up. Then Fresh and Fit also hit the algorithm, and they started to grow. Well, Fresh and Fit had been doing Fresh and Fit After Hours at the same time Kevin was doing his show. Kevin never had a problem with it until Kevin felt that Myron and Fresh's live streams were infringing on his audience. He said to me, Donovan, that is my time slot. He said this to me. He said, that is my time slot. I said,
again, take whatever he's saying with a grain of salt. I wouldn't doubt it, okay? But this guy, again, scammed his own father, scammed everyone he's ever worked with, all right? And now he's telling you that Kevin Samuels told him that Fresh and Fit, he wanted their time slot behind the scenes, right? Again, just put that out there. Dev with the $2 super chat says, went from the hotel lobby to the broom closet. Facts, bro. These guys, no, yo, I'm telling you, the CME 3.0, we gonna cover it. It's not gonna be in a very good spot. I'm gonna guarantee you that. Enough T. Shout out to you. He says Donnie Boy's next convention is gonna be on a street corner. Yeah, that's the next CME location right there. It's gonna be on the street corner next to the parking lot of a Eagles game. So, hey, don't forget to bring your dogs. All right, get the brats and hot dogs here. Let's talk about why women sucks.
And Kevin, I said, you're one of my best friends. You don't own any time slots. Okay. People can live stream whenever they want to live stream. Number one. Number two, Myron and Fresh have been doing Fresh and Fit After Hours probably longer than you've done your late night show.
That's bull fucking shit. That's bull fucking shit, and he knows it. That's how I'm telling y'all, don't believe what this guy is saying, because part of why Kevin Samuels went viral was the average at best, right? When he said that to that one lady who was a hairstylist or whatever the fuck it was, right? That was a video that everyone got introduced to Kevin Samuels. Even the women out there who called up in the show, when they would say how they found Kevin Samuels, they would say it was because of that average at best video. That was Kevin Samuels' shining moment, okay, in the red pill world. Because again, you just need that one video to get everybody to watch what you got going on, okay? So that he was already doing those late night shows way before Fresh and Fit became popular for doing the after hours with the girls. He was already doing that. So I just find it interesting that he's already now trying to say, well, Myron, hey, come on. Myron, we can make the argument that Myron's after hour show with the OnlyFans girls, he probably was doing it longer than Kevin Samuels. That's a goddamn lie. And you know this.
So it became, now listen, I don't know what Kevin's motivations were. I'm not going to pretend to know because he didn't tell me. But my guess is that listen, it appeared to me like there were some economic reasons. He wanted, so Kevin asked me, he said, look, man, you got to talk to Myron for me. I said, okay, I'll talk to him for you. So I called up Myron. I said, Myron,
why did his voice go so high like that? Okay, I'll call for you. I'll do it for you, Daddy. Okay. Wait, y'all hear the change in his voice? Hold up, chat. I can't be the only one that noticed this. Hold on. Y'all see the change in his voice? Okay, I'll do it for you. Okay, Daddy.
It appeared to me like there were some economic reasons. He wanted, so Kevin asked me, he said, look, man, you got to talk to Myron for me. I said, okay, I'll talk to him for you. So I called him.
Okay, I'll talk to him for you. Why did this voice change? I'm sorry, I'm gonna keep playing. That just got me, bro. I'm like, why? Okay, I'll do it for you.
But Myron said, Myron, look, check this out. Kevin is feeling some type of way. He's feeling some type of way about the time slot. And of course, Byron tells me what I told him. Hey, man, he doesn't own the time slot. He says, but maybe we can come to an agreement. Right. So while they're hashing that out, Kevin calls me the next day, and Devin was in the car with me. Kevin calls me the next day, and he's telling me, he's like, Myron and Fresh still have that Amanda video on their live stream. They still have the Amanda video. I said, okay, Kevin, what's the issue? What's the problem? He says, they need to be giving me a cut of that revenue. I said, Kevin, you're on their platform. Like, that's their platform. Like, yes, people watch the zillions of views and all this other kind of stuff, but that's on their platform. If they don't have a platform, you don't confront Amanda. You have to. He's like, no, they need to take the video down, or they need to send. Guys, this is my hand to the man. My hand to the man.
Yeah. Your hand to the man. You lying ass. You going to hell. That's a guaranteed. Okay. So he's basically trying to say that Kevin Samuels was trying to use him to strong arm Myron to take down the video, which he appeared on because it was getting a lot of views, and Kevin Samuel wasn't getting a cut of it. Right. Again, Fresh and Fit down here, they're saying, according to their comment, that it's the truth. I don't believe it because Kevin Samuels is dead. He can't defend himself. All right. So I think these guys are just lying to try to fuck his reputation up. Because, again, why would he care about money from Fresh and Fit, the video that's up? Now, you can make an argument for the super chats, right? If he wanted to cut to the super chats during that show, that makes sense, right? Because he was there, he was present. Y'all made a shit ton of money, and some of them were probably coming to his fans. So if he wanted to do that, that's a fair exchange. It makes sense to me, right? But if the video is already up there, and you're saying that Kevin Samuels wanted a cut of the ad revenue, okay, not now. I'm sorry, but I gotta pump the brakes a little bit, okay? Because when shit don't add up, I gotta subtract some things, okay? So I gotta pull some things back because that doesn't make any sense. Why would he try to argue ad revenue? That's crazy, bro.
Man, he said they need to take the video down, or they need to pay me half of the revenue from that video. So I said, okay, here's what we're going to do. Devin was driving. We were on our way to the bank, and you guys might remember this. You guys remember Devin's trainer, D, her dog, Nugget, had gotten hit by a car. Okay.
I remember D.
They paid you.
I remember D. D is Devin's personal trainer that needs a personal trainer. I shit you not. He actually showed a picture of her. I'm like, who the fuck is she training, bro? That's like hiring Myron to be your personal trainer. And look at the effect this had on Donni. He still ain't changed. He's still a big boy, a big tubby over here. What are you talking about?
I think it was like a $5,000 or $6,000, whatever it was. So Myron sends the money to Kevin. I'm thinking everything is all good except for the time slot. I get a call from Kevin the next day. He says, Donovan, the video is still up. I said, Kevin, didn't Myron send you the money? He says, yeah. I said, but wasn't that the point? He's like, no, I wanted half of the revenue and for them to take down the video. I said, Kevin, like, due respect. This is unreasonable.
That sounds like he's lying. Because Kevin Samuel was known to be a reasonable guy, at least especially other men. We can't say he was reasonable to women, all right? But I would say for other men, he was very reasonable, okay? So for you to say, not only did you all end up paying Kevin Samuels off for that video you let upload, but you're telling me he didn't come back and say, no, you got to take the video down and pay me. Does that sound like Kevin Samuels to y'all? Listen, I don't know the guy either. I criticize Kevin Samuels myself, but not to the lengths of the guys that they consider his friend, right? I'm not his friend, but at least I wasn't as crazy as these guys were. I mean, the kind of nonsense they were levying against Kevin Samuels was crazy to me, right? I wouldn't even bring that up because it didn't make any sense. Because, I mean, I'm not going to call somebody gay if they're not gay. That's crazy to me, right? But again, you're trying to get us to believe that Kevin Samuel was so petty that he looked at that one appearance he did on Fresh and Fit and said, I wanted them to take the video down and pay me for it. That don't sound right to me, bro. Matter of fact, then why didn't he demand that from other content creators he collabed with that are not as big as Fresh and Fit? They didn't come out with the similar stories about Kevin Samuels trying to get them to take the video down or pay him. They didn't do any of that. So what makes Myron and you so different? Again, I think he's lying about this.
This was their video on their channel. You made the unilateral decision to call into the show. Yes, you added to the show. Yes, you brought viewers, but the platform was already theirs. It was already theirs. I said, I was under the impression that if they paid you the revenue, that you'd be okay with the video being up. Then Kevin launches into this diatribe about how Fresh and Fit wouldn't be anywhere. He said they've gotten all of these subscribers ever since I made that appearance with Amanda, and they're eating off me and this and that and the other. I said, Kevin, I don't know what to do here, man. I said, I thought that I helped you guys broker a deal. I thought that if it was cool with them to keep the video up, I thought that if they paid you the revenue, it'd be cool for them to keep the video up. Like, that's what I thought. He says, never mind. He hangs up on me. I'm like, okay, he's heated. And I've hung up on Kevin before too. I hung up on Kevin when we were squabbling about the O'Shea, me and O'Shea shit from back in the day. But it is what it is. We got past that. He goes, all right, fine, whatever. We're heated. He's heated. It is what it is. And so Kevin says, and so he calls me back a few hours later, and I'm thinking, okay, all right, so he's cooled off and everything is cool. And I'm like, yo, what's going on? He's like, yo, the video is still up. I said, Kevin, I don't know what more I can do. I don't know what more I can do, man. Like, he paid you the $5,000 to $6,000. You still want the video taken down. And I'm like, Kevin, look, I love you. You're my guy. We've known each other for 5-6 years. But you're being unreasonable here, man. Like, you're being unreasonable. He's like, no, if not for me, they wouldn't have XYZ amount of subscribers. I just had to let him talk because I just couldn't for whatever reason. And this was a shock to me because Kevin was uncharacteristically emotional about this.
What? Like, none of this is making any sense. Glassy Eye, shout out to you for the $2 super chat. Says, but KS was vicious about creators using his clips. Yeah. And I looked into that too, because I actually found that ridiculous. But what it actually made sense because what ended up happening, at least not for the ones he was talking about later on, he did kind of get crazy on it. But at least initially, what people were doing were just taking his clips and re-uploading it without actually, doing any transformations or anything whatsoever to it, right? Because I've even when Kevin Samuels made that rule, I still reacted to his videos and I didn't pay anybody for it. I didn't reach out, I didn't check in, I didn't do anything. I just said I'm reacting to that, and that's what I did. All right, so he didn't strike my channel or anything like that. Unlike Fresh and Fit, I reacted to their channel. They tried to take my shit down. 9 videos they tried to strike. That's crazy, all right? So in the context of Kevin Samuels versus Myron, who is more likely to strike a channel down for crazy shit, all right, I would go with Myron and them. Like, they are the more emotional people to try to strike you down for it. But the videos that Kevin Samuels were striking down where people would just re-upload this content and just getting views for it, right? Which made sense. Some of them were like, okay, maybe you're a little off on this one because they did transform the content and you really don't have a right to take it down. But other ones were like, yeah, bro, I mean, I understand it. I mean, I get it. It is what it is.
And you guys know Kevin, he's as stoic as they come for the most part. And, even when these bitches are going in on him and this and that, Kevin is as stoic as they come. But for whatever reason, he just could not reconcile things he just could not do it. And so, so at that point, he says, that's it. I'm done with Fresh and Fit. They didn't want to change their time slot. And by the way, rewind a couple of days. Myron and Fresh said, hey, listen, man, like if you guys remembered, Fresh and Fit After Hours moved their show back to midnight. They moved their show back to midnight to accommodate Kevin. They said, all right, we'll move it back to midnight. They did it for a week and a half. Guess what? That still wasn't good enough for them. Because Kevin is calling me, talking about Donovan. They're still on while I'm on. I say,
why is Kevin calling you though? Like, this is why I don't understand about your weird story, bro. And first of all, I think you need to take a page out of Brittany Venti's book, Donnie Boy. But this background you got here, I know you love white and all things white, but this background you got here does not look good for your skin, my boy. It look like you about popping a bunch of blood vessels underneath your cheeks, dog. Like, you're not looking healthy. Like, you look like it's hot as hell in that room. And you're 2 seconds from a heart attack. Like, yo, you're like, I just use a different color for your room next time. I mean, just saying, okay?
Kevin, dude, I said they're waiting until midnight. They got guests that are booked. Nobody, dude. Like after hours starts at 10 o'clock, sometimes 10:30, but hey, okay, they pushed it back. Dude, Myron and Fresh bent. Listen, Myron and Fresh are no saints, right?
We know.
We all know that we've all made mistakes in this content creation game. We get that.
No. There's mistakes and there's flat out lying. All right. You're a flat out liar. All right. We can see it written all over your face, literally.
But for whatever reason, I guess, I don't know. I'm not going to speculate on the reasons Kevin never really liked Myron, but for whatever reason, that was that.
Chat. Let's actually get you guys to participate here a little bit. What other reasons can you think of that Kevin Samuels, at least for those of you guys who were familiar with Kevin Samuels' content at the time when he was alive, what reasons can you think that Kevin Samuels may have for not liking Fresh and Fit? I already might think of 5, all right? And they don't even have to be Kevin Samuels' reasons. I already think of 5 reasons why anybody in right mind wouldn't like guys like Myron or Fresh Prince CEO. They're not likable people. Anybody that likes them probably shares similar character values, all right, and lack of integrity. So just that's not a win. It's not a big win. But let me see what y'all reason is in the chat, bro. Shout out to Everything Everyday Podcast by Darren Long. He's a member for actually Darren Long has been around for a while. Shout out to you, man. I appreciate the membership. Shout out. Let's get a W in the chat for Everyday. Is it? Well, it's the real Darren Long, right? Not like you not like a different. Okay, I think it's the real Darren Long. But shout out to you, Darren. Appreciate you, brother.
Right. And then of course Myron is like, yo, I've tried everything I can. I've tried everything I could to accommodate this guy, and it's still not good enough. It's still not good enough. I said, Myron, I don't know what to tell you, man. I said, dude, look, and I told him both this. I said, Myron, Kevin, Myron is a good guy. I understand where you're coming from. I understand where you're coming from. You guys are just gonna have to do what you have to do. I mean, I've tried to work this out, being the guy in the middle. Guys, I can't. It was incredibly difficult for me to be in that position because I love them both, man. Like I've known them forever. I've known Kevin longer than Myron, but I've known Myron since 2018. We used to call into my show.
You know Kevin longer than Myron, yet you're trying to act like the late night show that Kevin Samuel was doing, Fresh and Fit were doing that before Kevin. You're just all over the place, my boy.
It's just it was just incredible. And so that was that with Kevin and Myron. Or so I thought. Then the Abba and Preach thing happened. All of the lies and the bullshit that came out about Myron and Fresh, Kevin took that to be the gospel.
Because it was. All right. And what he's talking about or referring to is the whole Anna Queen situation, right? Because the Anna Queen situation was basically Myron trying to be a mini Harvey Weinstein to get women to come on their show. Yes, he wanted women to have sex with them in order for them to appear on his show. That's what he was doing. And the way he was doing it was pretty crude. He would say, I'm a high value man. There are not as many high value men as me out there. Okay, so you'd be lucky to be in my presence. Come on my podcast and let me have sex with you. That's literally what they were doing. So I'm sorry. Anybody who stands against that, I am with. Okay, because Harvey Weinstein got busted for it. You don't just, again, you want to talk about legalities or whatever it is, consent or whatever, that's a different topic, okay? But if it's clear as day that you're soliciting sex in exchange for you platforming on your podcast, you can't call yourself a player. You can't call yourself a dating coach. You can't call yourself anything, all right? Anything but a fraudster, because you are relying on a crutch, which is your clout, to get box, which was what sparked the whole Abba and Preach versus Fresh and Fit beef to begin with, okay? And it went crazy gangbusters after that.
He called me up. He's like, Donovan, I'll never forget this. I'm in fucking Connecticut, filming Save-A-Ho. Kevin calls me up. He's like, yo, you got to separate yourself from these dudes right now.
He was right.
Like, why?
He was right.
You didn't find out? Myron got a girl pregnant and he raped some white influencer. He crossed the line. They've got to go. And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. I said, Kevin, you know what we teach here in this community? We don't believe all women. He's like, Donovan, the proof is there. And I'm like, Kevin.
Yeah, and what the proof was text. There were texts, right? Now, Miss Cheeks was a different story, all right? But the one thing they can't deny from Miss Cheeks is that Myron did have that suplex, aggressive sex with her, right? He was, I mean, Randy, Macho Man, freaking bedroom. Like, dude was putting her in headlocks and shit, fucking Undertaker, tombstoning and shit. Like, that's what he was doing in the bedroom. And she described it on Twitter. She said, oh, my God, Myron was very rough. He was very rough, right? The other girl he was with, he lifted up her shirt and then made fun of her boobs, right? Again, these guys are real degenerates here. So, listen, Kevin Samuels wasn't wrong for telling you, Donnie, you should probably stay away from him. But again, Donnie, he's desperate for clout. He needs people, and Fresh and Fit is just the right kind of degenerates to stand by this idiot.
Bruh, these women could literally be saying anything. They could be saying anything. And then he said to me, and the people on Myron and Fresh's side, they're using your video to defend them. Remember the video that I did on Nina Unrated? Remember that whole shebang where she was talking about how creepy everything was?
I remember, and that was when Nina Unrated was basically trying to say, hey, Fresh and Fit wanted me to take my clothes off so their audience can, get their rocks off. But Fresh and Fit didn't want to pay me to take my clothes off so Fresh and Fit fans can get their rocks off. That's exactly what Nina Unrated said. But what Donnie Boy did was try to use like body language techniques and all these other pseudo stuff to try to say, oh, well, look, see, she's lying right there. See how she said it that way? Oh, yeah, the way she said it, oh, yeah, she lied. It's like, no, the proof is in the pudding. Like, we even saw the video before they moved it off to Patreon. Myron was trying to ask his audience if they wanted to see her take her top off. And Nina didn't have a problem with that. I think Nina doesn't have a problem with showing her body off to the internet. She doesn't have a problem with that. It's her. She can do whatever she wants to do. But if she's saying in exchange for her doing that, she wants to be financially compensated, I don't see what the problem is. But Fresh and Fit know who they are. They don't want to spend money like that, right? They don't want to pay to have her take her clothes off, or they want to cheat her like that. So she exposed them. And she had every right to, because she saw the money they were bringing in the super chats, and you're like, wait, you trying to exploit me? No. Either you pay me now, or I tell everybody what's going on. Donnie Boy, in this pitiful attempt to defend Fresh and Fit's indefensible nonsense, right? Because it was all there. It was all there, right? He said, "Oh yeah, see, Abba and Preach took Nina's side. They took her side, right? And it was just so crazy. Like when I came to defend Fresh and Fit, I can't believe they were using Kevin Samuels' video." They were using Kevin Samuels' video to come at me, bro. That's crazy.
I picked that apart piece by piece. It was
all
cap.
No,
Kevin
it wasn't.
was upset with me.
He lied.
For putting out a video defending my friends. He was upset with me for that. He said they're using their video. They're using your video to defend them. He said, you got to take that video down right now. I was like, you know what? I don't want to fucking deal with this anymore. And this was the wrong thing. I made the wrong decision. I took the video down.
Now you're admitting you're not even a man. Now you just admitted to us you're not even a man. You can't even stand on your own square, my boy. And now you have the balls to come at other people, bro. Why do you do something because another person told you to do it? Why couldn't you stand on your own square? So you took a video down because somebody told you to do it, and now you're getting mad and blaming them for telling you to do it. But at the end of the day, Donnie, it was your actions. You alone. It's your soul. It's in your own keep. All right, that's it. You can't sit there and say, "Oh, that person tried to move me to do it. That's why I did it." But it wasn't. I didn't mean to do it. No, that means you weren't really a real friend to Myron and them either. Okay, your alliances kind of sways like the wind, bro. Okay, that's what it is. So if a guy is willing to get you to turn on your friend like that, maybe you weren't really friends with either of them. How about that?
I did. I took the video down. That wasn't enough for Kevin. That was not enough for Kevin. Kevin wanted me to do a scripted out. He wanted me, and I'm not doing this to besmirch his name. We all have demons, right?
He's not doing it to besmirch his name while besmirching his name and trying to make it seem like Kevin Samuels was this monster behind the scenes that was so unrelenting regarding the content he did with Fresh and Fit that he wanted to stop at nothing to make sure that their content gets taken down and he gets compensated from it. That's how he's trying to spin Kevin Samuels while trying to make it clear to us that he's not trying to besmirch his name. Who believes this garbage?
Myron, dude, Amru Fuddle, aka Myron Gaines, he ain't all peaches and cream. Neither is Fresh, neither am I, neither is Kevin. This is just the real, this is just how it went. So Kevin called me and told me, he's like, yo, you need to sit down. You need to write a script, get in front of a camera, and publicly separate yourself from Myron Gaines. You need to say X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, Kevin, why do I need to do this? He's like, Abba and Preach have exposed Myron and Fresh. And I said, Kevin, Abba and Preach are a couple of fucking softies. Kevin's all in my ear talking about Preach used to be an MMA fighter, and Abba is respected in this community, and this and that and the third. And I'm like, I could not believe what I was hearing. I could not believe what I was hearing. So he wanted me to write this whole thing out. He wanted me to write this whole thing out, right? He wanted me to write this whole thing out and publicly separate myself from Fresh and Fit. That's where I drew the line. That's where I finally just had to tell him no. I said, Kevin, you're one of my best friends, man. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it. He says to me, well, then you will go down with them. And I'm like,
fast forward 2023, it doesn't look like Kevin Samuels was wrong about that. You're going down the ship, bro, and they're not even fucking with you like that, bro. So I don't get it. M-Dot with the $20 super chat. Shout out to M-Dot. Chaos was very much in favor of black men and black women working together, i.e. pro-black. That brand wasn't compatible with Donovan's message for black women to date out and divest. That could partly explain KS cutting ties. No, actually, that's actually part of the bigger reason too. I would say that's probably more of a reason than the bullshit Donnie Boy is coming up with right now, because I think he's lying about that, saying Myron and them were all about no, because Myron and them, they've had so many controversies, especially when it comes to black women. Okay, how they talk about we don't dabble in the dark, right? Or what do you call it? All these other disparaging things when it comes to black girls, the whole controversy they had behind that. So again, the black manosphere, especially with Obsidian, oh fuck this guy, especially with Obsidian's brand of the manosphere, this dopey boy over here. All right, this guy, they hate black women over there. They can't stand black women. So much so, Obsidian, the leader of the black manosphere, decided that he wanted Pearl, a known racist, to go ahead and lead the black manosphere. A white woman leading the black men to help them with relationships with black women. It doesn't make sense, right? I'm just as dumbfounded as you are right now in the chat. But again, that just goes to the level of self-hatred these people have. And even when Pearl, because think about this, right? When that whole thing of Pearl unfolded, it should have been a perfect litmus test for who's down for their people and who's not, right? Because look at all the people that are claiming Kevin Samuels is my friend, Kevin Samuels is this, especially Obsidian. Obsidian literally tried to protect Pearl. He put his own reputation on the line. He lost a bunch of subs after he was trying to protect Pearl of the Nick Fuentes bullshit. Okay, now I want to ask you guys chat this question. Okay, knowing fully what we knew about Kevin Samuels and how he tried to, his way of trying to bring black men and black women together, even though he talked about it. All right, I didn't agree 100% with his methods, but he talked about it a lot, right? Do you think if Kevin Samuels was alive during Pearl and Nick Fuentes bullshit, all right, and you know, Kevin Samuels has a stake in having an opinion regarding that because he also, you could say, did content with Pearl accidentally, so you could say he probably had a say in it. Do you think that Kevin Samuels would have been in support of Pearl during the racist tirade shit she went on, or do you think the opposite? Because your answer would let you know exactly what side of the fence these bozos are on. Okay, because Donnie Boy backed Pearl even through the racist shit. Now he's trying to call Pearl a grifter and she a backstabber, but he backed Pearl, right? And then Obsidian, he also backed Pearl. But Obsidian went one step further. He said if Kevin Samuels was alive, he would agree with Pearl. Put a 1 if you think Obsidian needs help, or put a 2 if you think he's absolutely right. Because it goes to show you, now that Kevin's dead, you see all these weirdos coming out of the woodwork claiming that, you know, they had his best, or they still have his best interest at heart.
Kevin, I have nothing to do with this. He says, yes, you do. You're the one. You're the one. You're responsible for them being on YouTube. And I'm like, look, Kevin, I'm staying out of this. I'm staying out of this. I hope we can still be friends. I hope it's all good. And that's the way that phone call went. Right. So then everything simmered down. Things settled into things. Things settled. Myron and Fresh were doing their thing. Kevin was doing his. Everybody piled on. And you guys got to understand, dude, last year was a crazy fucking year. Anthony Johnson came out with the hit piece in March. I'm trying to put together the CME.
Yeah, he was trying to blame Anthony Johnson because the CME didn't work out. Chat, remember, the CME went from high value to great value. And by the way, the same shit is happening right now. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Let me pull up this screenshot real quick, because this is a screenshot that Anthony Johnson put up. Hold up, let me pull this up real quick. All right, let me see if you guys can read this real quick. All right, it's a screenshot that Anthony Johnson pulled up, in which well, actually no, this is the wrong one, but this is for last year, right? So let me pull up this one, because Anthony Johnson talked about it, because this was when he was trying to blame Anthony Johnson for the CME, right? So this was back when it was supposed to be in Dallas. So this is what ended up happening. So Anthony Johnson drops his tweet saying, fraud alert, Conovan Sharpe, Edwin Alexander Hopkins Jr., who canceled the CME2 in October 2021 with no venue, no refunds, and almost zero ticket sales, is once again scrambling to cancel/alter his event due to low ticket sales and blaming it all on me. This is a fake email from a non-existent venue that his obese Miss Piggy wife wrote. My prediction is he will convert the event to a virtual only last minute hosted in a cheap shithole nightclub, or cancel it outright like in October of 2021. All right. So here's the original post. Donnie saying, I had a feeling this might happen, so I already had a contingency plan in place to make sure the CME rolls on as planned. This dude tried doxing, lying, extorting, fake lawyers, fake adoptions, fake marriages, and everything in between. And the CME still rolls on. Fam, just take the L already. It's over, right? So here's a little email, if you guys can see it down here, that his lawyers sent him. It has been brought to our attention that your Masculine Excellence Conference endorses abusive hate speech and misogynistic ideals. While we can appreciate wanting to help men, we cannot condone these kinds of talking points. We were made aware of your YouTube channel and Instagram account. Your deposit in the amount of blank will be back in your account in 3 to 5 business days. We apologize for any inconvenience this may have caused. Now, one thing you guys know about this screenshot in this email you see at the bottom there is there's no header, or there's no logo of the company or the hotel he had rented out to. So a lot of people, when Donnie Boy dropped this excuse, were saying, you're making excuses up so you can host your CME in this little shithole you hosted it in, right? Because all of a sudden you were using excuses to blame Anthony Johnson for going into this broom closet over here. Now he's doing the same thing, okay? He's blaming Anthony Johnson for the payment processes and whatnot. This guy is a known liar. But let's get back to this video of him making an ass of himself.
Oh, my very first CME. I'm in Arizona, about to stroke out. I can't pee. Abba and Preacher piling on Myron and Fresh. Kevin is trying to convince me to publicly separate myself from Myron, from Fresh and Fit. All of this is happening all at the same time, right? I regret not having come to Myron and Fresh's defense from the very start. I should have done it.
This isn't the first time when Anthony Johnson went after Roll Tomasi. He didn't come to Roll Tomasi's defense either. This guy is a coward. All right, we call him Cowardvin, okay? Because that's what he does. He cowers out and then waits to see who wins the battle. And then if his team loses, he's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I wish I was there. I'm so sorry. It would never happen again, right? And to his credit, he goes all out, even though it's in the most ridiculous fashion ever. He does end up doing that. But when Rollo Tomassi was getting attacked by the MGTOW and Black Pillars and all that nonsense when that war was going on, okay, Donnie Boy didn't come to Rollo's rescue, okay? He didn't. Matter of fact, he ended up beating himself up after that, saying, oh my God, I felt so bad not coming to Rollo's aid, right? Now he does whatever he can. If Rollo's in trouble, he basically goes in and tries to defend Rollo at any turn, right? And the last time he did that was when Abba and Preach went after Rollo Tomassi, because Rollo Tomassi went after Abba and Preach. Y'all remember that when Rollo Tomassi was accusing Abba and Preach of trying to sabotage him, which was like, huh? Why would Abba and Preach care about you guys enough to sabotage you? That's what Rollo was doing, right? He was trying to call him, saying that Abba was milked, and because Abba shared a story about how I don't even know how that. That was crazy, but like he was sharing a story of a girl, jerking him off from behind, and that's what he said. Hey, listen, everybody's entitled to their own sexual preferences, okay? It's just not one of mine. My booty's mine; it belongs to me. You cannot have it. I don't care. I don't care, bro. But apparently, how anti homosexual the manosphere can get. So they are using that as an excuse to shame Abba and Preach, which is like, huh? I'm sure if you peel behind the curtains of a lot of these dudes and their sex life, I would tell you it's probably a lot more shocking than getting milk from behind. Okay, so case in point, look at Jack Murphy. Jack Murphy used to hang out with Rollo and all of them, and he likes to have people pay him to get stuff shoved up his butt. And people watch that shit, okay? That's his preferences, okay? So that's why I say a lot of these manospheres are weirdos when it comes to that sex life, right? But I just find this so interesting that these guys are caping for each other this hard. All right. And not only that Abba and Preach managed to do this much damage and cause this much PTSD amongst these losers.
I should have, and I'll never, oh my God. I remember that, dude. I remember it like it was fucking yesterday. I'm in my gym, and I watched the very first Abba and Preach video where they said, Fresh is capping about blah, 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 wanting a woman's soul. You guys remember that first video? I watched that video. I was so pissed off. I was going to go upstairs. I was going to come right up here and do a response video right now. I called Kevin before I did it. I was like, yo, did you see what they said about Fresh and Fit and this and that? I thought that they were cool. I knew that they weren't cordial, but Abba and Preach attacked Fresh and Fit like this was an obvious trap. I'm like, yo, Kevin, I'm about to go up there and I'm about to cook these dudes and blah, 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 blah. He said, Donovan, don't do it.
Nigga, the only thing getting cooked is you in that hot-ass room with that red-ass face of yours. What are you talking about? When was the last time Donovan actually ever cooked anybody in his life? I don't remember any time he's cooked anybody.
I said, why not? He says, don't do it. Don't do it. He said, if everybody piles on them, they're going to pile on you. I said, Kevin, I don't give a fuck.
You know what's funny? That's exactly what happened. like this idiot. Because I remember I made a video about this loser at that time. Because y'all remember the Fresh and Miranda situation? Yeah. The Fresh and Miranda situation, that happened around that time too. This idiot comes out there and says, yeah, Fresh wasn't really in love with Miranda, okay? No, you see that smirk that Fresh had on his face when he was talking to DJ Academics? See, for those of you guys who don't know, Fresh was trolling right there. This is why you guys are so stupid. You don't understand the genius that is Fresh Prince CEO, okay? Because Fresh Prince CEO only dated Miranda for clout. It's not that he loved her, all right? It was it was just for clout and troll her, okay? Now, you guys got fooled. That's what he tried to get us to believe, right? Meanwhile, another video dropped, and it was by DJ Academics exposing Fresh because Miranda was still around even after Fresh claimed he broke up with her, right? If you guys don't know what's up the significance of Miranda is basically like a mini Brittany Renner, all right? And you know how much these guys like to speak out against thoughts and speak out against gold diggers and all this other nonsense, right? So you would think that if they're teaching courses on how men should avoid promiscuous women and gold diggers, How is it that Fresh manages to end up with exactly that same type of woman, and he found her on a yacht, and that same woman ended up was walking his dog. So it showed that he was still with her. It wasn't trolling. Fresh was really in love with Miranda. Who knows? They could be dating right now. We just don't have eyes on. Okay. But it wrecked Donnie Boy's career because Donnie Boy came out in defense of Fresh and said that he was just trolling, which everyone knew wasn't trolling, and everybody was laughing at him. So in a sense, if he would have listened to Kevin Samuels, he probably would have avoided that hit to his credibility.
I said, Myron's my boy, man. I'm riding for him. Dude, I'm riding for his ass till the motherfucking end. Kevin says, Donovan, don't do it. You don't know what proof is out there. I was like, okay, so what? You're all of a sudden now you're believing anything everybody says? And I told Kevin, I said, keep in mind that Myron was actually on my platform on the
Yo, shout out to LTTD. I see you in the chat. What's good, brother?
6 defending Abin Preach. Abin Preach talked about the red pill, and they all of a sudden they lost their YouTube partner program, and then they got it right back. In between that time, that was actually one of our best panels. The original 6. It was either the original 6 or 7. I don't know if Steve the Dean was still on that. I didn't know if Steve the Dean was still on that, if he was still on the panel.
Nah, he kicked Steve the Dean off because Solo TV didn't like what Steve the Dean had to say. Again, Solo TV is a big baby. All right, that's why he's no longer relevant. I like that. The guy deserves no respect and no clout. Okay, but he was on that show, The 7, and Steve the Dean basically because Solo TV was talking about how you need money, and well, he was talking about himself, right? How he didn't have money, he was broke before, and then when he finally had money, women started gravitating towards him or whatever the fuck he was pushing out there, right? And then Steve the Dean comes out and says, well, if the money is what gave you the confidence, yeah, that's what it was. He said, because Solo said he didn't have the confidence to talk to women until he had money, right? And then after he had money, he gave him confidence. So Solo's angle was trying to make it seem like, hey, men, when you stop focusing on women and you go ahead and focus on making money, right? Eventually the money, the confidence you get from making money just naturally translates to talking to women, which is not true at all. And so Steve the Dean ended up calling that out. Shout out to Steve the Dean, by the way. And Steve the Dean said, yo, if the money gave you confidence, you were never really a confident individual to begin with. That's what Steve the Dean said, right? Solo didn't like that because that basically exposed Solo TV's talking points live on air. Solo ended up crying to Donovan Sharpe. And then Donovan Sharpe ends up kicking Steve the Dean off the 7 or the 6 or whatever the fuck it is. Or it was a 7, then it became the 6. I don't know. But that's what ended up happening, all right? The reason why Steve the Dean was no longer on the show was because of Soul TV 84 and his incessant bitching.
Right? But we had talked about it. And Myron said, hey, man, you know what? This is why we got to protect Abin Preach. This is why we got to, stand up for our guys, blah, 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 blah. Had Abin Preach in the studio, and then for Abin Preach to go back and do that to Myron, that didn't set right with me. I wanted to come up here. I wanted to fucking fry those. I didn't care. This was my mistake. This was my mistake. I should not have let Kevin talk me out of it. I was heated and I was upset. And Kevin says, Donovan, you're emotional right now, and that's okay. Okay? He says, you're upset, you're pissed off. He said, take a couple of days and think about what you're about to do. He said, just take a couple of days. If you decide you want to do it, that's fine.
That seems like sound advice. I don't know why he's trying to make Kevin Samuels out to be a bad guy for telling him, hey, don't rush to do a video just because Abin Preach dropped one on your best friends. Okay, just relax because you're emotional. All right. And when you calm down, then decide if you want to make the video or not. How is he a bad guy for doing that?
But he said, don't do it right now while you're angry. I said, okay, you know what? All right, fine. That okay. He's got a point. I was pissed. I was heated.
Yeah, calm down. Don't make it ass.
48 hours was not enough to quell the flame. I called up Kevin. I was like, yo, I'm getting ready to fry these fuckers. Kevin spent an hour and a half on the phone with me, convincing me not to do this response video to that original Abin Preach. By this time, guys, the floodgates had opened. Myron had already fucked up and did the thing about Preach's wife. all hell broke loose.
That's bullshit because that happened. Or that happened with that. Bro, what are you talking about? When what we call after Abba and Priest dropped that video, pretty much exposing the whole Fresh and Fit's kerfuffle, if you want to call it, behind the scenes with Nino and Rated. All right, the Fresh and Fit's next video was literally making fun of the guy's wife. All right, Preach's wife, and making those racially charged comments about Preach and his mannerisms. So that all went down. It wasn't the floodgate. The floodgate was already open. Again, he's trying to twist the story, which is not going to work because people already knew what happened around then. Okay, so it's just weird to see him try to retell. You look like he about to cry, bro. You look like he about to get emotional right now. I'm just saying, bro. Like, he's lying.
All hell broke loose. All hell broke loose. Myron and Fresh were eviscerated by everyone. They lost 40,000 subscribers. Everyone was piling on them. It was insane. It was absolutely insane. And there was dude, every fucking day. I don't know what, and for whatever reason, man. And I'm not trying to speak ill of the dead. I'm not trying to speak ill of Kevin here.
Nigga, that's what you're doing. That's exactly what you're doing.
But I really did believe he had my best interest at heart.
Here we go.
I thought the reason why he was trying to prevent me from jumping in was to not get caught up in the fire. I thought
that's what he was trying to. That's exactly what he was trying to do.
Kevin was doing. I thought, and Kevin had me convinced that if I took Fresh and Fit side, that my channel would be deleted because I was already under attack from Anthony Johnson, right? But the longer things went, the worse it got. Every week, dude, I'm talking to Kevin. I'm like, Kevin, this is fucked up. This is absolutely fucking fucked up. He's like, Donovan, don't do it. He's like, don't do it. You're angry. You're upset. You've built your brand and this and that and the third. Myron's got this Miss Cheeks pregnant. He raped a white girl. You don't know what Walter Weeks, a.k.a. Fresh. You don't know what his past is like. These guys are bad.
I can almost guarantee you Fresh's past has a long list of scams. just written all over it, especially when it go back to Barbados. I could almost bet you, bro. This dude came on the scene acting like a scammer.
Bad news, they're bad eggs, they're bad apples. And I'm like, I just couldn't. And I honestly thought he had my best interest at heart. I really did. Okay, all right, Kevin. You're doing this because you wanna stick up. Okay, all right, cool. You don't want me to lose my channel. All right. Okay.
And by the way, Donovan has had his channel like taken down before too. So he multiple strikes. He's had issues with YouTube, especially when he was saying all the crazy shit about women. Because he used to get way crazier than what he is now. So again, I'm not that surprised that Kevin Samuels was trying to look out for you. Kevin Slim, shout out to you for the $5 super chat. He says, "Hey, dude, why you had to do solo like that? You could have let him live." I couldn't, bro. Listen. I came on there when I was with on LTV show, right? When I was talking to him about that, right? And the issue I was talking to Solo about was why did he feel the need to scream at a woman on like live? Like you took time out of your show, all right, to scream at a woman's comments. That's crazy to me. Like, why did you do that, right? All of a sudden, because he couldn't explain the inexplainable, he started saying, "Oh, well, Duke, I don't respect you." First of all, I don't care if you don't respect me. A respect from you, Solo, all right, is equivalent. I don't even go there. It's actually not a badge of honor, all right? That's crazy to me that you would think that. So he started out with the disrespect. I'm like, all right, bro. Listen. You're on LTT's platform, and I'm sure his fan base don't understand the old Solo because I know the old Solo. I know that he's been exactly guilty of this kind of shenanigans in the past. Okay, on any circumstance, you will find this guy screaming at somebody in the comment section because again, this guy has deep emotional problems. I've been know who Solo was. Okay, the thing is, I could have exposed. Listen, I've seen him on LTTV's channel. And I could have, if I was real petty, I could have gone into the chat and I could have been exposing his ass right there in the chat. Like, why are you over here, bro? What? You on the other channel that's still gonna take you seriously? You better get over here. Get out of here. I let them know who the real Solo is, and they're gonna stop fucking with you after that, right? So I didn't. I could have done that. I didn't, but he decided to start shit, and I said, all right, bro. I guess everybody else gotta know that this isn't your first time. You like screaming and yelling in the camera. You're not an alpha male, all right? You've caused problems with everybody you've ever collabed with. He's basically like Donovan Sharpe. Soul TV 84 is like Donovan Sharpe but if Donovan Sharpe had a baby with the Michelin Man. That's OT. I'm gonna play the video. I'm done. I can go forever on this clown dog. This LTV anymore, bro. The thing is, he's no longer relevant, so it doesn't do me any justice to talk about him anymore, right? Because I mean, the only relevancy he holds on to is taking credit for Fresh and Fit's creation. But other than that, he's no longer relevant, bro. He wants to be regarded as the king of the manosphere. All right, big boss, head honcho, big capo. Like, bro, the only thing you've ever capped is your career, my nigga. So just stop it. Get some help, Solo. I'm more deep with the $2 super chat. Shout out to you. Fresh is probably paying Miranda's rent. Facts. Paying her rent, paying for the dogs, paying for everything, bro. I won't be surprised, Fresh and Miranda, if they're still together. That's crazy that Donnie Boy tried to convince us that Fresh was trolling with her. Nah, he was serious with her.
So the Abin Preach thing started to settle down a little bit. But then O'Shea started talking shit about Myron and Fresh. O'Shea, the lead attorney, started piling on Myron and Fresh. And so what I did is I didn't make a response video to all of their detractors. It was too late by then, which fucking blew. Nope. I decided to
What do you mean it was too late? If you really wanted to make a video, you would have made the video. If you really cared about that much, you would have made the video. What it sounds to me like is you were bugging Kevin Samuels to give you permission to make a video while it was still a hot topic so you can get clout off of it. So were you really doing this to help Fresh and Fit, or were you doing this to try to get clout off of a hot topic, meaning Fresh and Fit being roasted? And you just wanted to present a contrarian point of view, because you do this all the time, Donnie. When Pearl was getting roasted for that Nick Fuentes collab, you dropped a video talking about Pearl's not racist. I stand behind Pearl. Now, fast forward. Now he's talking about Pearl's a grifter. It's like, how you like? Where are your fucking integrity at, bro? Like you backed a racist even after she did a racist thing, okay? And you knew for a fact she was grifting. And then the moment she did something that you didn't like, all of a sudden she's a grifter. But the whole time when you were bigging her up and then trying to hide or masquerade her flaws, all right, you didn't bother to call it out. If anything, it seems to me you're just as fake as Pearl. You're just as fake as all of these other tards out here you put on or you claim to put on. Let's just be real about that. It was for clout. Because realistically, if I want to do a video, I don't have to wait. I don't have to do it while it's hot, right? There's some videos I do, and it's like way later, even way after like the hype has died down, right? Because sometimes I just got like my calendar filled with other videos. Listen, I dance to the beat of my own drum. All right, I do what I want to do. All right, I cover what video that I think I want to cover. All right, because A, it's got to be funny as hell to me. All right, and B, if I know it's funny as hell to me, it's gonna be funny as hell to y'all. All right, so I pick the videos I want to react to. Right, that's the thing. So let's say if a video, let's say it's not necessarily funny, all right, or maybe it doesn't have a lot of, shine to it, but, it was something that was a hot topic months ago. I would cover it, let's say months later, because it's not about clout. It's just something I wanted to cover. I just didn't have the time to cover it while it was a hot topic. So again, there's nothing stopping you from going on, even after it becomes less of a hot topic, to go on and defend Fresh and Fit. You could have easily done that, but you didn't. And now you're blaming Kevin Samuels for it. It's weird to me, bro.
replay the video of my response to O'Shea's accusations that I tried to start a Black 21 convention behind his back. As soon as that video played, guys, Kevin called me immediately.
There you go.
He said, Donovan, what the fuck? I was like, what are you talking about? Why are you reopening old wounds and da-da-da-da-da-da? We had a shouting match. And in the end, Kevin says, Donovan, I can't swim with you anymore. He said this to me. He said, I can't swim with you anymore.
Yo, Ray, hey, what the fuck did you expect? O'Shea, this doesn't tell you that O'Shea has more of an impact over Kevin Samuels, not only his career, but even in the friendship that they had versus what you thought you had with Kevin Samuels. It goes to show you. So then you fast forward in the video that we just covered earlier, you trying to take credit for Kevin Samuels' career. It just goes to show you you're a liar, even by your own words. By your own words, Kevin Samuels had way more respect for O'Shea Jackson than for you. So much so, he was willing to unfriend you after you dropped the video trying to go at O'Shea Jackson. That's how crazy it is. And yet, fast forward 2023, you're trying to take credit for his success? Really, my boy? Really? Come on, Donni. Come on, bro. He can't swim with you no more.
He said, we're still friends. These were...
Look at him. Yo, Chad. He's getting redder. His face, look. Oh, my God. Look how red his face is, Chad. He about to cry. Look at this. Chad, look at it. Look at it.
I can't swim with you anymore. He said, we're still friends. These were...
He about to cry. I can't be friends with you, Jack. He about to cry. Look at his face. Oh, my God. Oh, no. Oh, no. Look at it. Hey,
and it sucks that I have to admit this.
Why your face so red? Yo, Chad, I'm sorry. I can't get over this shit. Because like the way he tries to pretend it made such a deep impact on him. When Samuel said, I can't swim with you no more, Jack. We can't swim together no more. You talked about my friend O'Shea. You talking about yo, hey, yo, this guy, he can't help himself, bro. I don't think he can, bro. I don't think he can. All right, come on, let's continue. This is crybaby over here.
But Kevin's last words to me were, we're still friends, but for me, no mas. And he hung up the phone. That's the last time I ever talked to Kevin Samuels.
Oh my God, bro. Look at his eyes.
And I know I told guys.
Oh my God.
I know I told guys. And listen, I lied to you guys. I did.
Go fucking figure. When are we not surprised that Donovan Sharpe lies to his audience, okay? Donovan lies to his audience almost on a consistent, regular basis, okay? You're not getting truth over there in this clown's panel. You're not getting any kind of truth or anything. You're getting nothing but lies, bro. He's been lying. He just admitted that. I'm not surprised. Are you? Nah, I doubt it. If you are, I got a bridge in France. It's worth about $50. Hit me up. I'll sell it to you. Don't worry about it.
The reason I lied to you guys is because I didn't want anybody to speak poorly about Kevin. Yeah, there were grumblings of this and that, but you know, I told you guys that Kevin kept me in the loop and that Kevin didn't do any of that stuff, man. Kevin didn't do any of that stuff. As soon as Kevin hit 150,000 subscribers, he never really had anything to do with me again. Not on.
Whoa! So you mean to say that Kevin Samuels was no longer cool with you, but you lied to your audience and pretended y'all were still cool so the audience won't go and besmirch Kevin Samuels' name or look at him wrong? I don't think so, bro. I don't think that's how the fans would have reacted. I think the moment you went out and spoke against Kevin Samuels at the highest of his popularity, that would have been it for your career. Guaranteed. That'd have been it for your career, my boy. All right. He was over 150,000 subscribers and rising at a rapid rate. He was moving through those YouTube algorithms, my boy. Okay. So the moment you tried to say, oh, yeah, he's fake, he's not my friend anymore, that'd have been it for whatever was left in your career. And second of all, the second thing I find wrong with this is you pretended he was your friend. After 150,000 subscribers, he already left you. My boy got from 150 to 1 million. That's at least 150,000 subscribers you need, okay, to get to that point, okay? So you mean while Kevin Samuels was on the road to 1 million, you were riding his coattails, and he dropped you off a long-ass time ago? Yeah, you're the ultimate clout chaser. Now I'm starting to believe that the only reason you were pissed for not defending Fresh and Fit when the debacle happened was because you didn't do it when it was popular enough for you to do it. That's what I'm starting to think, because realistically, I'm starting to realize, Donnie, you're just as big of a scumbag as anybody else. That's why, I mean, how often do you go on Fresh and Fit anyways, huh? Let's just be real on that, okay? You're not relevant anymore. Neither is your daddy Rolo.
On the air anyway, right? The last time I had him on the air, I think he had 150-something thousand subscribers. He never came on the show again. He never had me on the show again. He never shouted me out on his show. He shouted out Obsidian.
Which is crazy too. I couldn't believe that. I think Obsidian had to be paying him, okay? Because Obsidian went crazy after Kevin Samuels died, especially with the defense of Pearl. Oh God, yeah, his career is done for. I'm going to deal with the $5 super chat. Muda Sons Elite says, by the way, Steven Crowder, the racist right wing guy, interview Fresh and Fit today. What? Oh, that's gonna be a. Hold on. Let me click this link real quick. Oh shit, this just happened. It was like 10 hours ago. All right, we're gonna cover it. That's gonna be an episode this week. We're gonna have to cover it. Fresh and Fit, Steven Crowder. All right, because last time we heard about Steven Crowder, it was through a camera. All right, he was not saying nice words to his pregnant wife at the time. Okay, so that wasn't good, and I don't think it was good either. So yeah, we'll see how he rebounded from that. He's kind of looking rough over here though. Like, don't y'all think he looking rough? Like, what is this? Don't y'all think he looking rough? Like, Steven Crowder looks rough as hell in this video here. He looks like the kind of guy you would call the police on if you see him at a middle school, like just walking around. Like, why? Right? My boy got divorced and grew a mustache. That's what happened. Like, he doesn't look like he's in a good in good spirits right now. All the more reason why we probably have to cover this video, because it probably had some interesting things in it. But let's get back to Donnie Boy's mishap. We're gonna cover this for sure. Yeah, we definitely gonna cover this for sure. Look at this. Look at this. Look at these two bozos. Look at this. Oh yeah, we gonna cover this.
Who does nothing but who spent 3 years bad mouthing me? He shouted out O'Shea on his show.
Aww.
Who did a bunch of shit talking about me.
Because you basically trashed the Negro Manosphere after he gave you all of that freaking opportunity. You scammed him, all right, by repurposing articles you wrote for somebody else to try to sell it to him. After he trusted you, you tried to scam him. And yet you're talking about, oh, Shay is such a dick for making fun of me. Hell yeah, nigga. If you try to scam me, you lucky roasting is all I'm doing. You lucky the nonstop roasting of your dumbass is all I'm doing, bro. Because if you scam me, I probably got the cops involved, because if we had a contract, hey, I will fine your ass. That's for sure. You will get fined, bro. Like, what we talking about here? You're lucky O'Shea just like kicked you out and basically just relegated you to be basically a punching bag at this point, right? Because that's what you made yourself out to be. That's the whole highlight of your YouTube career on this platform, okay? It is what it is. But again, this guy, bro. Cocktail Hour with Katrina. Shout out to you for $5 sweet chat. Says, what up, Duke? What's good, girl? Says, Donnie Boy gonna cry in the car. Yeah? Look at his eyes, bro. Look how red his nose is. Like, he's trying to hold back some snot. Kevin Samuels told him he can't swim with it no more. He's sad. His whole career's done. Look at him. Bruh, that's crazy. Imagine that, riding off of somebody's coattails until they get to 1 million subscribers, knowing fully well they don't fuck with you. And they call me the clout chaser. Like, that's crazy, dog. Ken, shout out to you for the $2 super chat. Says, and these dudes say men aren't emotional. I know. Look at this dude. He's got snot getting ready to run out of his nose, but he's talking about women are so emotional, right? That's crazy. Yeah, this is the same guy. I can't believe it. Shout out to you for the super chat, Ken.
But he wouldn't shout me out.
Nah, you don't deserve a shout out.
It's not like, and listen, man, Kevin didn't know me anything. He didn't know me anything. But goddamn, man. Like, Kevin, like, I'm the guy who had Kevin Samuels on the most. Kevin, I am the channel that Kevin Samuels appeared on the most, and it's not close. It's not close.
That's a damn lie. O'Shea's promoted Kevin Samuels way more and way harder and way more effectively than your shows have ever done. The fact that O'Shea, matter of fact, we know that's true because there are other content creators that O'Shea put on that also catapulted to high levels. Maybe not to the level of Kevin Samuels, but they got catapulted to really, really high top levels. All right. We talk about Pocket Watching with JT. That was an O'Shea Duke collaboration. Okay. A major collaboration with O'Shea Duke. And he still shouts out O'Shea Duke Jackson until this day. The lead attorney, as much as I can't stand that, man. All right. And how he turned his back on black folks after the whole Pearl debacle. I mean, Pearl, people back in Pearl really took out a lot of careers, but lead attorney accredits his career to O'Shea Duke Jackson. All right. Mr. Attorney that talks about, black women and drama and all that bullshit, the divorce attorney, that guy. Yeah, him. yeah. O'Shea put him up there. All right. So, Donnie boy, what shows have you put content creators on, and how famous have they been since appearing on your shows? I don't know why you're still trying to take credit for something you didn't do. I'm just saying, all right? And again, one other thing I got to touch on is the same thing Soul TV likes to do, right? These guys have a weird knick-knack for, if let's say you go on these guys' show, right? You go on their show and they platform you collab with them or whatever the fuck it is, right? These guys feel as though that just because they let you on their show, Fresh and Fit has the same mentality, by the way, right? Just because they let you on their show, no matter what it is, you owe them some level of unimaginable loyalty, right? That means you can't talk shit about them again. You can't do anything bad about them because you guys are bound by blood because they let you on their show. That's the mentality these guys think, right? So this guy Donni thinks because he's the most person in his eyes that let Kevin Samuels on his show multiple times, he deserves that shout out. He deserves all that stuff. Now, although I'm not saying he's wrong or right because we don't know what's true. This guy's a scammer. I'm just saying, bro. No one owes you anything. No one owes you a damn thing, bro. Like, fuck you talking about? Like, he owes you that. That's crazy. Same thing with Solo. Solo's like, hey, Moxie, I did you a favor, Moxie. I brought you on my show. I went on your show. We talked. And you gonna talk shit about me? You're not supposed to talk shit about me, right? Same thing with Myron. Alba, I let Alba on my show, and Alba decided to just turn his back on me and just snake me, man. It's like, what delusional fucking world you guys living in to believe that just because you collabs with somebody on content that they're owed this indentured fucking loyalty to you? That's crazy to me. Like, again, that's how this bozo's thinking. So I'm not surprised he falsely deluded himself to believe that Kevin Samuels was his friend or was going to be his friend, or he owed him some kind of favor because he platformed him the most. What a fucking weirdo.
The very first time I had Kevin Samuels on was 4 years ago. He's been on my platform 47 times. Nobody else can say that. Nobody else can say that. But as soon as he started getting DMs from Brittany Renner and Cam Newton and Future, that was it. He forgot all about me, man.
I think that's going to happen. That's going to happen with a lot of people, Donnie. All right. The moment they start becoming more successful than you, they realize that you're a loser. All right. And they just realize you're a loser and you're not worth investing in or being invested in any longer. Okay. And that's just what ends up happening. Just like what O'Shea Duke Jackson said in the last video reacted to. All right. If you're so gung-ho about helping other people's career and being successful and whatnot, why haven't you helped yourself, Donnie? Why are you still here hoping that your pupil reaches out from the grave and pulls you up to a level of prominence you only could dream of being? All right. Why is that? Maybe it's because you don't have the talent. You ever thought about that? Maybe it's just because you're not talented. You're just an emotional man-child that goes around trying to dominate everything that you have no business trying to dominate. Maybe because of that action itself, it leads to other people not wanting to deal with you anymore because they think you're too much of an emotional weirdo. Kind of like how you're being right now. You should probably take a page out of your own book.
And that shit hurts, man. That shit, oh my God, dude. That hurts. It really fucking hurts. It fucking hurts, man. And like I said,
I see the pain. It's written all over your eyes. My boy's about to cry, dog. He's about to cry. He's reminiscing that betrayal.
I didn't expect anything in return from Kevin, but I didn't expect him to try to turn me against one of my closest friends because of some personal vendetta. Because think about this. So let's say that I foolishly decide to do the whole, publicly disputing Myron Gaines.
But you did. You did that, and it didn't work.
Now, Myron and Fresh won't have anything to do with me. Kevin is off doing videos with Future, making...
Myron and Fresh still don't want anything to do with you. I mean, nothing's changed. Again, you're blaming Kevin Samuels, but at the end of the day, you're the one that made the decision. I thought you were a man. I thought men are supposed to be accountable. After all, we laugh at the women for not being accountable, right? I mean, in the manosphere, y'all talk about women not being accountable, and they don't want accountability, responsibility, whatever it is, right? Okay, so then take accountability and responsibility for decisions you make, all right? Kevin Samuels can only suggest that you delete the videos or not make videos defending Fresh and Fit. But at the end of the day, it is up to you to decide if you want to do it or not. Listen, even just on our channel, there are people who don't want us to make videos about certain content creators. And guess what? We still make those videos anyways, because I don't behold to anybody. Listen, I don't care. Listen, okay, we can be friends and things like that. If I got a video to make, I'll make a video, okay? That's just is what it is. You can't control other people. And again, that's what makes a man. Someone who's going to do what they set out to do anyways, regardless of the circumstances. Now, of course, they can be flexible because, plans change and things adapt. But ultimately, they do to set out what they aim to do. Donnie boy, you aim to do something and you got dissuaded by someone else who you thought was better than you. And now you're trying to blame them because your career is not as good as you thought it could be. Just take some damn responsibility. Just come on. Just for the boys you claim to help out there. Just for once, take accountability. Christ.
Appearances on ATL. Where does that leave me? Nobody. I'm a man without a fucking island.
We know.
Man, I flew Kevin out here.
Yo, look at him. All that money I spent on this nigga. Couldn't give me a shout out. Just one damn shout out. Can you believe this shit? Yo, Content with the Country, shout out to you for the $2 super chat. Says, what happened to these boys holding frame? Facts. This guy sells courses on holding frame. Here he is about to burst out in tears on camera. Like, what a freaking fraud. Look at this guy. And Myron says the same thing, talks about saving kids. Saving kids is one thing. But saving you degenerate incels? My boy. Hold up. My boy crying over getting demonetized on YouTube. Right? It's like you didn't get canceled, bro. You over talking about free speech, bro. I'm died over here talking shit to that funny. They know about free speech and shit. Nigga, you couldn't even hold frame when it come to getting canceled. They still have you on YouTube, right? They didn't flat out take down your channel, so you can still make money just off the views alone, right? But yeah, here you all crying. Listen, we're getting targeted right now. All right, it's not because we said some shit that we're dumb and we did some racist shit. No. It's because YouTube doesn't want us helping you incels anymore. It's like, y'all the fucking pathetic. And old frame my ass. Y'all are so bitches, bro. Again, these guys are like middle schoolers at heart, right? Or high schoolers if you want to give them the benefit of the doubt, okay? But although I think high schoolers have a better emotional maturity than a lot of these red pillars over here. But if we're just going to be real, these guys are high schoolers LARPing and living out their dreams as if they were in high school. All right, they're living out their dreams as if they're the popular guy on campus now, and it's just so sad. Okay, because it just goes to show you how many of these other men are walking around here going through like a midlife crisis, reminiscing their glory days or lack thereof in high school. Like, it's just so sad to see these guys behave and engage in such behavior. But then again, I'm just here for the fun of it. I'm here to clown and do whatever. It is what it is. Shout out to you, Patrice, for the super chat.
Kevin's not a bad dude, guys. He's really not. We all have our frailties. We all have our weaknesses. we all have some shit with us. Like, I get it.
Go fucking cry about
I
it.
get it.
Speaking of all having shit, hold up. Let me pull up Red Pill Examine's video. Shout out to Red Pill Examine. He's been dropping some stuff too. So we gonna go ahead and give Red Pill Examine a reaction here, because this is gonna be crazy. All right, this basically breaks down the identity fraud that Donovan Sharpe was involved in, where he stole his father's identity. Okay, and when he fled to Vegas, he's still paying off that bill. All right, but just keep that in mind. Toulouse, shout out to you for the $2 super chat. She says, "This is worse than listening to a whiny 5-year-old." Facts. I think I can endure listening to a whiny 5-year-old, because at least, when they're lying, there's a flare of innocence to it, right? It's like, okay, yeah, whatever, bite me. It is what it is, right? But Donni, this idiot knows what he's doing. So there's no truth to what he's saying whatsoever. A lot of the stuff he's doing, he knows exactly what he's doing. He's just being dubious about it, which is crazy. But again, you're absolutely right. I would much rather listen to a 5-year-old than sit here and listen to this guy talk about how Kevin Samuels stopped being his best friend. It's just so pathetic. And the whole time you are riding off of his clout. You didn't even do your audience the service of letting them know what was going on behind the scenes. You didn't do that. You just lied through them through and through, and you want them to feel sorry for you after you lied to them for this long. You're crazy, bro. This is why your channel sucks, Donni. This is why. This and the identity theft. That's also a serious crime. Class 3 felony, I believe. M. Dot with the $10 in the chat. Yo, get the W in the chat for M. Dot. M. Dot is throwing out right now. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for the super chat, M. Dot. M. Dot says, "I read somewhere male improvement spaces, i.e. the right pill, don't help men improve. They were created so frauds and grifters don't have to work a desk job, i.e. a real job." Do you agree? Absolutely. Matter of fact, I think the red pill is like literally the opposite side of the coin. It's basically OnlyFans for men. I was going to say it's the opposite side of the coin for OnlyFans for girls, right? Because what ends up happening is, where else do you go as a man to get other men to simp for you to the same degree they simp for women on OnlyFans? I have never seen it till date. Okay, I don't know what other entity or platform online that exists where grown men or men in the chat rooms or children in the chat rooms are going to and basically getting a lot of these guys to simp for them, like OnlyFans women. The red pill is the only place you will see that nonsense go down. Matter of fact, it's so prevalent that even the men complain about the content creators, right? They work it as part of their content. They complain about how much unfair it is that women can just go up there and talk about, or not even talk about showing their bodies, just show their bodies. All right, they get a bunch of this clout, right? But yet they are talking about these very same women, as cheap as content you can get and getting the same amount of clout off of it. It's like, no, the red pill is basically OnlyFans for men. All right. This is where you get a bunch of men simping over you, worshiping over you, right? Doting over you, right? And part of the way to get to that level is collaboration with OnlyFans women, right? The same women they complain about, they have to collaborate with so they can get some of that incel fan base over to start simping for them. Because again, what is the difference between a fan base of an OnlyFans woman and a fan base of Fresh and Fit? The biggest difference is the men could pay to see the girls naked. I don't know if Myron has a Fresh and Fit where he gets down like that. I don't know. And I'm sure there'll be some of his fan base that'll pay for it. I would be surprised about that. But still, okay, that's the biggest difference. Because other than that, I don't know why these guys are still relevant. It is what it is. But yeah, I think they're just OnlyFans for men. Shout out to you, M. Dot, with the super chat. I went off on a tangent there, but it had to be known. But speaking of which, let's talk about Donnie Boy's past real quick. Shout out to Red Pill Examine. Let's go ahead and get this video going.
Only fair to give many of these red pill content creators the same just due and look at their past to determine whether they should or shouldn't be taken seriously. And in Donovan Sharpe's case, that past includes a third-degree felony charge with some very interesting details. Now, the first thing to understand when it comes to Donovan Sharpe is that the name Donovan Sharpe is fake, and in my personal opinion, was only used up until recently in an effort to conceal his criminal past, which in many ways discredits a lot of the points he makes today. However, in light of recent events, Donovan Sharpe finally told his audience his real name. So let's hear what that is.
The reason I say this is because myself, listen, my legal name is Edwin Hopkins, right? Edwin Alexander Hopkins Jr. It's all over the internet now, for better or worse. The reason I say this is because me personally.
So after doing a bit of research, I was able to come across one of Donovan Sharpe's felony charges, that being identity fraud, which took place while he lived in the state of Florida. However, what was most disturbing about that case were the details of how Donovan Sharpe committed said felony, as well as the identity of the victim. What I also want to make sure to point out before continuing is that this case is a matter of public records, and it is therefore lawful to make the details of this case public. So with that being said, let's now look at the case in question. Now, the first document on the screen is what's called the felony information, which is the formal charging document that describes the criminal charges against a person and the factual basis for those charges. And as we see, Donovan Sharpe at the time was 26 years of age, and the official charge was fraudulent use of personal identification information, which is a third-degree felony.
Damn.
The document goes on to state that Edwin Hopkins Jr.
You know what's crazy? He tries to make it seem as though his felony charges came from beating people up. That's how much of a pretender this guy is. He has the same fight mechanics as Steven Seagal. This guy cannot do confrontation. He's lying about that, okay? But his felonies mainly stem from identity fraud. Okay, well, I guess you can call it a white collar crime. Is this considered white collar crime, identity fraud? I think that's what you call it, right? Because you're not robbing someone physically. So I guess it's like a white collar crime, right? I have Victoria. Shout out to you for the 2 hours, which says RP is the opposite side of feminism. Yeah, it is. It's feminism for men, right? Again, that's why I said, like, these guys is just transferring hate back and forth. All right, and then what is it? Fostering a gender war. That's what these guys are meant to do. Keep the gender war burning, and so these guys can keep earning.
In the county of Pinellas and the state of Florida, on the 8th day of September 2003, did willfully and without authorization fraudulently use or possess with intent to use personal identification information concerning an individual, Edwin Hopkins Sr., without first obtaining Edwin Hopkins Sr.'s consent.
Damn, bro. If I was Edwin Hopkins Sr., I'd make sure my son dropped that junior from his name. As a matter of fact, change your name altogether. You ain't no junior of mine. Listen, if this is the legacy I gotta live, imagine being this nigga's daddy, bro. Like, this is your firstborn child. All right, you're saying, okay, I'm Edward Hopkins the first. Senior, all right, and my firstborn child will be the junior, Edwin Hopkins, because family members like to do things like that, right? The firstborn child usually gets the father's name, right? Imagine just giving this guy your name, just for him to just use it to scam you when he gets older. I mean, what a fucking disappointment, right? Because I'm assuming when you're looking at this bouncing baby boy, you're probably not thinking, yeah, this guy's going to try to use my name I'm giving him to scam me. But that's unfortunately the life of Donovan Sharpe. He's got it's got no shame, bro. This guy, take his ass back to Social Security office and make him change his name.
Yeah, Chapter 817.568, Florida statutes, and against the peace and dignity of the state of Florida. So now let's move on to the next document, that being the witness affidavit, which is a sworn written statement from a witness in the case. And as a quick aside, the witness in this case, also called an affiant, was a duly sworn law enforcement investigator with the St. Petersburg Police Department. So with that out of the way, here is what he had to say. Your affiant learned from the Plant City Police Department that on September 8, 2003, Edwin Hopkins Jr. had used his father's social security number to rent an apartment in Pinellas County, Florida. Your affiant went to the apartment complex and obtained a copy of Edwin Hopkins Jr.'s rental application, which includes Edwin Hopkins Jr.'s signature and Edwin Hopkins Sr.'s social security number.
Damn! You know what I'm starting to think? You remember when Donnie Boy told that ridiculous story about how that 19-year-old or heroin addict basically destroyed his life? What if? Nah, never mind. He was 26 at that time, so this couldn't happen. All right, but no, he was 26 at the occurrence of him stealing his dad's identity. But I was gonna say, what if he stole that identity just to get the apartment for him and his new heroin crack addict girlfriend, right? But that couldn't happen because he was 36 at that time. Yeah, this guy was in his mid-30s when he was running around with heroin-addicted 19-year-olds. Let that sink in for a second, right? And you let me know if this guy has his life together. I mean, jeez.
Your affiant learned that Edwin Hopkins Jr. had defaulted on his rental payments in the amount of $8,000.
Yo!
On June 16, 2004, your affiant spoke with Edwin Hopkins Sr., who advised that the outstanding balance showed up on his credit report. Edwin Hopkins Sr. does wish to prosecute his son for the crime of identity theft. Your affiant learned that Edwin Hopkins Jr. obtained a Florida identification card listing the above-mentioned apartment as his current address.
That's crazy.
Your affiant has been unable to locate Edwin Hopkins Jr. The document goes on to state, wherefore your affiant respectfully requests this honorable court to issue a capias for the arrest of Edwin Hopkins Jr. for the offense of fraudulent use of personal identification information so that he may be made to answer to this charge.
Arrest his ass.
Now, for those of you guys who may be unaware, a capias is a warrant. So what the police was requesting from the court was a warrant for the arrest of Edwin Hopkins Jr., also known as Donovan Sharpe. And as we see, the judge at the time granted their request and signed a document which stated, I have reviewed this affidavit and do find there is probable cause to hold and bind over for trial the defendant named in this affidavit.
Got him.
Clerk of this court is hereby directed to issue capias for arrest of defendant Edwin Hopkins Jr. Defendant is to be admitted to bail in the sum of $10,000. Now, shortly thereafter, the arrest warrant was issued, which in my opinion led to Donovan Sharpe fleeing the state of Florida. However, 16 years later, on April 2nd, 2021, all charges were dismissed because, as the document states, the warrant was outstanding and there had been no procedural activity in this case for 16 years. The defendant, that being Edwin Hopkins Jr., also known as Donovan Sharpe, had also paid all outstanding financial obligations on March 26, 2021.
Boom! Now, March 26, 2021 is an important date because the year is very, very important. Because 2021, it was the same year where Donnie Boy canceled the CME. Think about it. He canceled the CME, didn't refund the money for the audience members that paid for it, right? The people who paid to come see him for the CME, they didn't get their refunds. He canceled it. Now, some people were speculating that the reason why Donnie Boy canceled it because he used the money that was paid to him to take care of the outstanding debts he had in 2021, and realizing that he didn't have enough funds because God knows what he did with a lot of the audience's money. And just be real, I know he's making fun of Anthony Johnson for low ticket sales, but Donnie Boy has low ticket sales as well. All right. So maybe, just maybe, Donnie Boy decided to spend that money, his audience's money, to pay off the debt, that the outstanding balance finally in 2021. And that's why the CME didn't happen that year, because my boy had debts to pay. Now, all of a sudden, fast forward, 2023, the same excuses are being used. So, Lord knows what else does Donnie Boy has to pay for that he's now putting out the APB that Anthony Johnson might be after him. What else could Donnie Boy be invested in around the same time of a CME? I want you all to think about this for a second. Oh, wait. Isn't he getting married? Isn't he getting married on the same weekend as the convention? So all of a sudden now he's letting you know that Anthony Johnson is trying to sabotage him, but he's getting married on the same weekend his CME is supposed to go down. So I don't know if his marriage event is going to take away from the quality of the CME, but it wouldn't be the first time that something else has taken a priority in Donovan's life over you incels that keep paying this guy to go up, to show up, right? It's crazy to me. It's crazy. So this right here made so much sense because this guy could have very well used this audience money to pay off the last remaining debt he had in Florida, which is probably why he's trying to host it in Florida.
And so this case was officially closed as of last year. Now, in light of all of this information, there are some key takeaways I'd like to discuss. For one, Donovan Sharpe at the time of this crime was married. And the reason why this is relevant is because
that's not Devin. That don't look like Devin at all.
Because when discussing the divorce rate, red pill content creators oftentimes look at the fact that women initiate 80% of divorces and thus deduce that women are mostly to blame for the lack of successful marriages today. However, what Donovan Sharpe has demonstrated is what's oftentimes left out of these conversations. And it's that the husbands, in many of these instances, are just as much at fault for the dissolution of the marriage as the wives. And in Donovan Sharpe's case, his criminal and reckless behavior could have landed his then wife in jail. Another point is that Donovan Sharpe knows the impact that something like this would have on his image and potential future earnings, which is why when he now discusses his criminal past, he'll only talk about his quote-unquote violent felonies and omit the fact that at one point in his life while married, he chose to commit identity fraud against his very own father to the tune of $8,000.
That's a lot too. $8,000. A kid can use that money and pay for Andrew Tate's war room course. I mean, geez, that's a lot of money, bro.
And so the purpose of this video was to show that when the past of many of these red pill content creators is held up to the light, they come out as no better than the very women they criticize. And in Donovan Sharpe's case, even worse.
Yeah.
Now, many of his followers will say that his past is his past and that it doesn't define the man he is today. But is that truly the case? Because the way in which he used false information back in 2003 so that he could sign a leasing agreement is very similar to the way in which he's used false information about his relationship, which he's been caught lying about numerous times, to sell his dating and relationship courses. So has he truly changed? Well, to that, I say no. And if his past is any indication of the future, then rest assured that he has no plans on stopping anytime soon.
Yo, Red Pill going in right now. That shit is crazy, right? Here's another one that he had up there. I'm gonna play one more, right? And this is proof that Donovan Sharpe was lying about when he moved to Vegas.
Years, and I've never heard of that. When were you there?
I was there from, I was trying to think of that actually.
I was there from 10. I was there from 10 to 18. Well, rewind about a month. So I go to Vegas and I get the very first job that I applied for.
Yeah, what year was this?
This was in 10, right here in 2010. Yeah.
So right when cell phones were really taking off.
Oh yeah.
Look at this. Look at this. Who still wears Filas? My boy, Mr. Endear over here. Like, is he wearing a pimp coat? Like, what is this get up over here? And what is that, a Matrix background? Like, what do you think you're in the Matrix right now? You weirdo? Like, your Matrix wearing Fila? Like, what are you doing? You dress like a child. Like, god damn. Like you're dressing up for show and tell. That's what it is. Like, look, mom, I'm gonna be in a school play looking ass. Get out of here, bro. Who wants to be this masculine? Right? Oh my god, bro. These guys.
Yeah. And so this was in July of 10. So I'm sitting there, I got my little bulky laptop computer. I said, you know what? Let me just go to southwest.com just to see how much a one-way ticket is to Vegas. I clicked it, and on July 1st, 2010, I landed in the LBG, and my life has been forever changed. I got kicked out of the state of North Carolina, moved to Atlanta for 6 months. Then I land here, July 1st, 2010. Got
Welcome back to Red Pill Examined, where I look at and debunk red pill talking points and expose red pill content creators as hypocrites, liars, and scammers. And today we'll be looking at more proof showing that Donovan Sharpe lied about moving to Las Vegas in July of 2010, which is what he's been telling his friends and followers for years. Now, this lie was of course debunked and exposed in a previous video using mugshots that placed Donovan Sharpe in Raleigh, North Carolina in June and August of 2010 at the time in which he was supposed to be in Las Vegas.
Got him.
And so for this video, we'll be looking at those same mugshots along with a specific picture that Donovan Sharpe posted on his Facebook page, which was supposed to be from July of 2010 per the caption. Now, the reason why this picture is so important in debunking the lie that Donovan Sharpe arrived in Las Vegas in July of 2010 is because it shows what he specifically looked like at that time. And as we can see, he looks to be in his younger years, lacks facial hair, and is relatively slim. And so when this picture is juxtaposed to his mugshots, which were taken a month before and a month after this picture, we're able to compare and contrast and see that the picture, which is supposed to be from July of 2010, doesn't match the other two pictures taken around that time by the Raleigh Police Department.
Who is this dude? Who is this thing? Is that a Ghostbuster? Half of a Ghostbuster tattoo? What was going on in this photo? Where y'all at? Y'all at a restaurant? What's going on here? But he definitely looks older right over here than this guy over here. This Donni looks older and more experienced. Like especially this one over here. Like he been through life. Like he got done crying to his mama after he got his first phone call the moment he got booked. That's that mugshot face you make right there. This face right here, I've already been through it. Like, I know. I've already been through it. We got a quick phone call. But I don't know. He definitely looks younger in this one than these two photos for sure. But I don't know. They say prison ages you. So maybe that's what's happening here.
Where he not only had visible facial hair and looked older, but was also carrying a lot more weight. And so it's easy to see that the picture in the middle that he tries to pass off as being from July of 2010 is and has always been a lie, and that he never truly moved to Las Vegas that year. This also goes to show how far he's willing to go to continuously perpetuate said lie, which speaks volumes about his character, especially since he's supposed to be an advocate for male self-improvement. And so with all of that being said, I want to thank you guys for watching this short but necessary video. Stay tuned for more, and until next time, God bless.
God bless indeed. Shout out to Red Pill Examine for that brilliant video, basically breaking down that Donni boy, lies about a lot of things, including and when he moved from North Carolina or Florida to Las Vegas, okay? And part of the reason why he actually fled those states. It wasn't because he was trying to start anew or anything like that. I mean, part of it, yeah. But, I mean, he was escaping some federal crimes that he committed, one against probably his own father, which didn't end up getting paid off in 2021, till 2021. Ironically, that was the same year which the CME 2 was supposed to go down, but Donovan Sharpe canceled it because Anthony Johnson was to blame. He never gave refunds, never gave any explanation of if the people who paid are going to get their money back. Nope, none of that. We just got the explanation of Anthony Johnson ruined the show, and it's not going to happen. It's canceled, and somehow he has COVID, right? So it was all those excuses and whatnot. But the one thing he didn't tell you is that same year he paid off the $8,000 plus the fine that he was being charged with back in Florida that same year. So again, people are speculating maybe the reason why that was canceled was because he needed to focus on priorities that wouldn't land him back in prison. We don't know. But what we do know is this guy's a liar. He's a scammer. He scammed and lied to everyone he's ever worked with. All right, it's probably except for Rolo, but who knows what those two and the nature of their relationship is like. So again, I wouldn't be surprised if someone like that is willing to do these things, all right? Is willing to lie, cheat, and scam to the level he's doing, all right? And Fresh and Fit only gave him the avenue to do it on a scale which he would have never gotten to on his own, which is a sad thing to say because he's out here trying to claim credit for other people's success in which you can't even make yourself successful. Make that make sense, my boy. Like, that don't make any sense. Like, make yourself successful before claiming that other people are successful, okay? See, DJ Academics can actually claim he made Fresh and Fit more successful because he's still, even till now, way more popular than Fresh and Fit. All right. He even gave Fresh and Fit the new direction in terms of dealing with hip hop artists versus more manosphere people. So I would even say DJ Academics has more of an argument in making Fresh and Fit's career pop than Donnie Boy has ever done in all of the videos he's featured Myron in. Okay, so I just think that, again, first of all, it's not a big win to bring these losers out here. It's not really cool. We don't like Fresh and Fit and their takes on women in life. But again, if we're gonna be real about it, yeah, Donnie, okay, you need to go back and take some more gardening lessons because I don't think the red pill's for you. Same thing with Rolo too, as well. All right, because Rolo be trying on that same shit with the what's that guy's name? Jack Murphy. Y'all remember Jack Murphy? 69 for 69. Y'all remember that? Hold up. I got to remind y'all real quick. I remind y'all who Jack Murphy is, right? Because Rolo's doing the same thing as Donnie Boy is doing, right? He's trying to blame Anthony Johnson and say, hey, Jack Murphy is the reason. No, he's saying, what are you saying? He's saying that
69 for 69. Yes, I have definitely fucked guys before.
That's your red pill leader right there. Yeah. Rolo's tried to make it seem like Anthony Johnson was knowingly platformed this guy in the red pill space, knowing that his past and whatnot, right? And he tried to make it because y'all know when this video came out, this basically ruined Jack Murphy's career, right? But Rolo tried to make it seem like, yeah, Anthony Johnson had all the associations with Jack Murphy, and Rolo had nothing to do with Jack Murphy until this photo starts circulating. And then you see Rolo right over here, right, just all hugged up with Mr. 69 for 69. Yeah, looking like the best friends from the Teletubby land over here, all right? And Rolo, this is the happiest he's ever been. I mean, just look at the shine of that beanie, okay? You could tell he's in a good mood. Oh, who is this? Who is it? Could this be Mr. 69 for 69? Let me just make sure we got the right person here. Hold up.
I'm hetero flexible.
Yeah, that's him. That's him right there. We got you, Rolo. So the fact that Rolo Tomasi knows fully well this photo is circulating throughout the internet, but it's trying to shame Anthony Johnson for platforming Jack Murphy. And, you know, we got this. It's like, bruh, I think you had a part to play in this too. Won't you say, Rolo? I mean, this photo's out there, my boy. It's not going anywhere. So you can try to shift responsibility from Mr. 69 for 69 over here. But just being real, that's you. That's your friend. That was your friend. All right. It's just what it is. Okay. And listen, if you want to have guys have sex with your butthole, if that's your sexual preferences, listen, I don't got a problem with that. It is what it is. All right. I'm not going to judge you for it. Whatever the fuck. You live and let live. My problem comes in when you like to live that type of lifestyle, but then try to be a Jack Murphy on the internet for red pillars, talking about you're an alpha, masculine, macho, Navy SEAL warrior, Chad dude, whatever. All right. Meanwhile, you're 69 for 69. Yeah, we know what you are. As a matter of fact, a lot of you dudes who are aggressively anti-homosexuals, I'm starting to realize there's probably a pattern here, especially y'all Republicans. Like, oh. What's the correlation with a bunch of hyperly masculine dudes? And you know what I'm saying? Yeah, listen, I'm just saying there's something to it. There's something to it, okay? Because Jack Murphy was one of them. All right, oh yeah, we the LGBTQ sucks and all this and this, and they're talking about, yeah, I definitely had sex with guys before. That's him. He was saying that. It's like, wait a minute. That's like that Republican politician that raves against anti-gay propaganda. No, not raves against it. He promotes anti-gay propaganda and then gets caught blowing some dude behind a fucking 7-Eleven. Like, again, y'all have issues. y'all need to talk to someone about it, okay? And most of all, you need to be confident in your sexuality, all right? If you like people shoving stuff up your butt, okay, that's fine. Rolo, listen, if you hang out with people who are like that, that's also fine. But don't sit there and use it as an excuse to make fun of Abba just because Abba likes to get milked from behind. Knowing fully well, your buddy over here, 69 for 69, all right, $69, and he'll let you do whatever you want to. That's your friend, dog. So while we out here judging, live and let live. Let's promote, a healthy and fair, wellness, to all, no matter what side of this fence you are. All right, let's just be solid from now on. But guys, let me know what you think about this, okay? What are your thoughts, okay? And for this one, for the ones and twos, we're going to get hypothetical here for a second, okay? All right, we're not going to get real. It's all just going to be hypothetical because we don't have the proof, okay? So I want y'all to vote in the chat for me, all right? Because this is also pressing for me. I want the ones and twos only, all right? For those of you guys who don't usually stay for the ones and twos, I appreciate you guys being here. We're pretty much done with the show, okay? But for the dedicated ones that wants to make sure their voices are heard and make sure I know that their voices are heard, all right, y'all got to help me understand this real quick, okay? Do you believe that when Donovan Sharpe canceled the CME in 2021, do you believe that the fact that he had these outstanding debts in Florida to pay off played a massive role in the cancellation? Put a 1 in the chat. If you put a 2, if you think, okay, maybe they weren't correlated. But then if you put a 2, you'd have to then believe that Donovan Sharpe's COVID was the reason why. Well, Donovan Sharpe's COVID and Anthony Johnson's shenanigans was the reason why the CME in 2021 did not happen. So put a 1 if you think, yeah, he knew what he was doing all along, and he used that money. His fan base paid him for that event to pay off his bills. Put a 1. Put a 1 in the chat if you think that. And then put a 2 if you believe no, he didn't. Donovan was fair, and he canceled the CME because Anthony Johnson was on a warpath against him, and he had COVID. That was the reason why. And guys, with that being said, oh my God, bro, this guy is such a clown. This is why I don't like covering his ass, bro, because he's a clown dude, all right? But let me know in the chat, and I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one. This has been an interesting and fantastic show. But let me make sure I don't miss any super chats real quick just to make sure. All right, looks like I'm all caught up. Y'all know I like to be on the super chats. I have to make sure I'm hella caught up. But I'm going to catch you guys on the next one. Shout out to the moderators. Shout out to the members. I appreciate y'all. And I'm going to catch you on the next show. Peace.